And good afternoon or evening, everyone. We are back for some Mariners baseball, and the Mariners are, well, about to wrap up their Texas run, their Texas road trip, y'all, as they are going to be in Houston. And interestingly, in the past week, I was actually in Dallas and Houston in somewhat of that order. There happened to be an in-between between Dallas and Houston. I was actually in Brazil, but Dallas and Houston were in the in-betweens. But before I get ahead of myself, how are you doing, Steve-O?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic, with the exception of the fact that the Mariners blew a 5-0 lead. And there was a point in my live show, and I actually did mark the timing. I literally lost my you-know-what while covering the Seahawks game. I had the Mariners game on my phone. And after watching that walk-off, I literally just screamed at my camera. And I literally, dropped F-bombs and, what the hell and everything. And my co-anchor was like, hey, let's calm down. It's just Mariners baseball. He's not a huge baseball fan. He's a Seahawks guy. But that's how yesterday was. And for the Mariners game and the Astros, a lot's at stake today, where both teams actually have the magic number of 1, believe it or not.
Yes.
Astros magic number is 1 for the division, and the Mariners magic number is 1 to finish 500 for the 21, 22, 23 for the 4th consecutive season. Let's do it. Let's get the 500 record again. It's pretty rare when the Mariners finish 500 or better in consecutive seasons. I think the last time they did pull something off like that was, I think it was the years of 2000 to 2003. So they would have tied the franchise record for consecutive 500 plus winning seasons. What a milestone that would be, right, for the Mariners?
Absolutely.
Let's put that banner up there. Let's put it up on the banner going, finish 500 or better for 4 straight seasons. I think that is what's at stake today. Just trying to lighten the mood, guys, because at this point we can't really think about wild card right now. Yes, they're 2 games back, but here's the thing: nobody else is playing today, and we're playing Houston. So at this point, we got to take this one game at a time. What matters is this game. I've had friends text me going, "Man, maybe we should play Cole Young next season, or we should do this, we should do that." I'm like, no, let's focus on the Houston game. Let's focus on 2024, not 25, because I am not looking forward to covering 25 offseason and the season. But anyways, for the Mariners today, we've got Bryce Miller against Hunter Brown. And the cool thing about this matchup is I added both of them onto my fantasy baseball team because I'm in the finals this week and I am trailing, but I do have those 2 pitchers, and at least one of them is bound to get me 10 plus strikeouts. Who do you think that's going to be? Who do you think gets that 10 plus strikeouts for me?
Ooh, good question, man. Is it gonna be Bryce? Is it gonna be Bryce?
Maybe. I don't know, because look at those offense, even without Yordan Alvarez. I don't know. He'll be lucky to get ground outs.
Right. Well,
Hunter Brown.
Could it be could it be Hunter?
I think so, because that's how I've been writing my entire fantasy baseball season, is literally adding every starter against the Mariners until one of my friends picked up on that strategy, and he literally wiped out the entire Texas rotation from the last weekend, and he got Yusei Kikuchi, so I'm kind of screwed because he's playing for 3rd place, so he's playing absolute troll mode. But he wants to play for that refund. That's what he wants to play. He wants to play for a free season next season. And as for the starting lineup, here is what we've got for the Mariners. We got the red hot Victor Robles, who has been running like 95 Kenny Lofton lately, which of course nobody has no idea what I'm talking about. Kenny Lofton scored from second base on a wild pitch by Randy Johnson, ALCS. Number 2, Julio Rodriguez. Then Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, and I wonder when Dan Wilson will figure out that Randy Arozarena should not be a cleanup hitter. Luke Raley, Justin Turner, Jorge Polanco, JP Crawford, and Josh Rojas. So Swinging for the fences, Steve. How do you feel about this lineup construction tonight?
I like it. Yeah, I mean everything about it. It's definitely a yeah, man. It's definitely your typical your typical Mariners lineup, bud. I like it. I think I like the speed. Yeah, man. I just I don't know. I like it. It's just your typical Mariners lineup, man. You know, there's nothing special about it, I don't think. But but that being said, because of because of what happened last night, I think the Mariners owe themselves the ability to do exactly what they did yesterday, jump out to an early lead. Hopefully, it doesn't end up in that much end up going down the same way. But I think it's a good opportunity. The Mariners have performed quite well at Houston this year. And of course, you also look at the fact that there's still only 2 games out of the wild card. This thing is very much not over. 2 games out with 6 left to play. Stranger things have happened. Minnesota collapsed. Detroit's kind of in that 3rd wild card driver's seat. But that being said, there's still a lot of baseball left to play. But that being said, I think you hit it right on the head. Tonight's the most important. Tonight's the most important. So take care of business tonight and chase down those pesky Tigers.
They're gonna have to do it through against Hunter Brown, who again I added to my fantasy baseball team. And the unfortunate thing is, in the last 3 games that he has started against the Mariners, he has a 1.65 ERA. So it's going to be very difficult and challenging. So if I were the Mariners, let's not try to go aiming for home runs like they do. Like now they've been doing a little bit better about trying to put the ball in play than, because when it was Scott Service, it was like fire at will to the bleachers up in left field or right field. But this time you've seen Victor Robles doing some more bunting work. You've seen, I guess Julio's just slightly more patient, with the exception of that final at bat that he had yesterday, which was basically like a Scott Service run, Julio Rodriguez up to bat. But if the Mariners can if they could just play that little bit of a small ball, because that's how they're going to win. Like they got a small ball at for the rest of the season, because I don't think Mariners have any time for long balls, or they don't really have, unfortunately, any room for error.
That's correct. I would 100% agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah. I mean, you're in this portion of the season. Again, 6 left to play. There's no margin for error. So the little things can come back to bite you in the what. So, mistakes are going to be crucial. And, this is not the team where you can afford to make small mistakes. So it's at bat by at bat. This has to be a situation where you can't give away outs. And of course, this team is the king of giving away cheap outs. So, man, it's tough.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the perfect example was that Randy Arozarena, like when he throws the bat, and also what bothers me about Randy Arozarena himself is he always steps back when the pitching is about to happen, and he's like trying to call time, and I'm like, it's almost like, does the guy even pay attention to the situation? And I'm actually taking a look at his cleanup spot, and actually, surprisingly, that's actually his best spot. He's actually batting .250 this season with 8 home runs, so I guess I can see why. But with the runners in scoring position, he is extremely useless with runners in scoring position. And looks like Astros have taken the field. They're sporting in their dark jerseys. Hunter Brown is warming up right now. Julio Rodriguez was named American League Player of the Week, and unfortunately, I forgot about that whole thing because of that loss yesterday. And that loss really was like a punch in the gut. Like, it was so bad. Like, when I was watching it while covering the game, I completely lost focus of the Seahawks game. I mean, Mariners, they did a really good job. They did a really good job to strike. It's almost like they did that on purpose just to try to take views away from the Seahawks, because they're like, hey, we want attention too. It's like, no, just win your damn game and the views will come in the playoffs if you make it.
Totally.
Like,
So you got so that took you away from the Seahawks, huh?
Yeah, it did. And now here's the first pitch. And that is a ball. Yes, it did take the attention away because I was like doing this. I was like really distracted because of the Mariners. He's batting .310 with 4 home runs and 25 RBIs. Victor Robles has arguably been the most efficient player on the Mariners in the second half of the season. The pitch, and that is a ball. And career versus Hunter Brown, he is 2 for 2. So maybe this could be an advantageous opportunity. I mean, the probabilities say 100%, right? If you're 2 for 2. And now we're looking at the 2-0 and the pitch. And here is a grounder, and that is going to be a difficult thing to field. The throw to first, and not in time, and that is going to be an infield base hit. And he did fulfill the 100% probability off of Hunter Brown.
Oh, yeah, that was good hustle.
Yeah, he is the man of hustle, and that's exactly what a player that we need to see. I think he's someone that would fit under Dan Wilson's kind of style of play. Like Lou Piniella would have loved this kid too.
Totally.
Need that speed and that hustle. He at least had one player in the lineup that was all about speed. Now here's Julio Rodriguez, and that is low for a ball. They're talking about the last game. Brian Wu, who had a very uncharacteristic meltdown, and I was thinking around that time maybe Dan Wilson should have used the bullpen because he was getting diced up real good. And we're looking at a 1-0 count on Julio Rodriguez, and now here's the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Career versus Hunter Brown, 4 for 12. And the other marquee matchup that we shall be anticipating is the rematch between Hector Neris and Julio Rodriguez. If we remember last year, they had the little trash talking exchange, and now that's a foul ball. And, and that's where Eugenio Suarez stepped in going, hey, he said that. And the media also was like, hey, he said that. Yeah, I agree. And it was a huge media mess. They really tried to take the attention away of
for sure.
They were trying to distract us from the fact that the Mariners were pretty much done. Here's the 1-2 foul ball, as Julio does have that chasing tendency, unfortunately. Since the 4th of July, he's been batting .321 with a 170 WRC plus, which really proves that Julio is one streaky mofo.
Streaky mofo.
And we're looking at a 1-2.
Really, but Julio, I'll give him credit, man. His last couple weeks, man, he's
really been tearing it up. But then there's also there's also final week Julio. That's a different one. The 1-2.
Yeah, but I think the play that you're referring to, the play that was on third, where he thought it was a dead ball. Yeah.
Just complete lack of judgment.
I can't fault him because I've been in that situation before where I can't fault him because I've made some mistakes on the base paths before. But that being said,
it happens.
It happens, and I can't. It's
1-2.
disappointing. It's disappointing, but I can't fault him.
I mean, it's safe to say that major reason why he got so much criticism because it was literally in the heat of a playoff race.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
if it was any other, it was like middle of the season, you would have gotten laughs out of it.
Yeah, and I understand, right? I totally get it, but for me,
and the 1-2. Now here's a ground ball, probably gonna be a double play ball. The second, the first. And that is in time for the double play. And just like that, that was erased.
You know what's funny? That actually was a good pitch to swing at. He just topped the ball, right? So not exactly good through the contact zone, tops it, gets on top of the ball, and just drives it right into the dirt. And that was an easy twin killer.
Easy double play. Yeah, and the unfortunate thing, last season, I took a look at the numbers. Julio in his last 6 or 7 games batted .042 with just 1 home run, 10 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And here's Cal Raleigh, and a swing and a miss, strike 1. And I'm already getting this feeling that this is going to be a long game to follow because of that double play. Like, I'm already feeling uneasy about this game as much as I was yesterday, as we're looking at the 0-1 for Cal Raleigh. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike, surprisingly. And career versus Hunter Brown, he is 1 for 10.
Ooh, so you're telling me there's a chance?
I guess so. There's a 10% chance that he gets some kind of a hit. And now here is the 0-2 to from Hunter Brown, and that is swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side.
35 home runs, 98 RBIs, a 715 OPS, but he's hitting 214.
Yep, 214. I mean, there's already Mariner fans like, he is the best catcher in baseball. I'm like, nah, not quite.
Yeah, not quite.
Not there yet. He's basically a refurbished, or more of an upgraded Mike Zunino, unfortunately. But slightly more clutch than Zunino. Zunino had no clutch, if I remember him. Guy was the definition of feast or famine when remembering Mike Zunino. I mean, would I have taken him back at some point? Maybe as a backup catcher, but that at most. And they're in commercial break. I bet this commercial is about Chipotle. Yep, I guessed it. And now we're going to go into the starting lineups for the Houston Astros. And it's going to be Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker, who came back from injury, Alex Bregman, the potential free agent, Yandy Diaz, Singleton, Caratini, Jeremy Pena, Hayward, and Myers. What's up?
I said, how do you feel about Alex Bregman? And the talk that I've seen on the old Twitter webs is that it seems like the Mariner fan base is split between the want to potentially have him, and others are like, oh heck no, because he's a cheater. He plays for the Astros. Blah 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 blah.
No, take him. Take him.
Yeah, it's like, dude, the idea, like if you're trying to win a championship, the idea is you need better players on the field.
Yeah,
right?
whether he's a
Bregman is far better than anything that we've had.
I mean, if Mariners really want to talk cheaters, what about Robinson Cano? What about Nelson Cruz, who cheated before? Like, you can't and I remember when Cano got suspended and Justin Verlander was correct, Mariner fans poured all the excuses for Cano. They try to say, no, it wasn't his fault. He was screwed. No, he knew what he did, and he knew what he did was wrong. He broke the rules.
Now, my question to you is, was that cheating? Do you think that he was taking PEDs for a competitive advantage, or do you think he was taking PEDs to recover from injury?
There was that 2015 injury, so it is possible.
I'm just saying, right? Because I think, especially in the modern era now, and you talk about the guy from San Diego, the junior,
Tatis. And hold that thought, because we've got Jose Altuve up on the bat, and we're looking at the 1-0 by Bryce Miller, and that's going to be 2-0. So you were saying?
Yeah, when you look at Tatis, like his physicality didn't change, right? When he got popped, he was still the same dude he was before. The only difference was that he came back from his injury, and he looked like he was 100% when he got popped. The thing about it is like he had that pretty gnarly ankle injury. And one of the things about PEDs, steroids, whatever you want to call them, is they help you recover. They help you recover because it pushes blood through the body, and especially lower extremity injuries like ankles. Yeah, man, that'll help. The
2-1 pitch for Altuve, and that's going to be a 3-1. And Bryce Miller is already struggling with this at bat.
Oh, look at BC in the chat, man. All about Shohei, man. It's all Shohei.
Shohei Ohtani.
He's having a heck of a year, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I think next thing he needs to do is just go for Barry Bonds' home run record. The 3-1.
He's going to finish with a 55 and 55 this year.
He could go for 60 and 60 if he's that, if he can really push it.
Can you imagine if the Mariners actually sacked up a little bit and went out and paid him his money? How amazing that would be.
They could have done that deferment contract easily.
For sure.
They chickened out. Like when the Suarez trade and the Kelnick trade happening, that's what some of us were questioning. Are they going for Ohtani? Nope, didn't happen.
Nope.
And
Can you imagine having a 50
3-2
in this lineup?
And here's a ground ball right to Josh Rojas. Throw to first, and it's in time. I mean, yeah, of course.
Good Lord, man. And of course, he's, go Dodgers, go Shohei, go Rams, go Rams. The Rams? Come on, BC. You can do better than the Rams.
But he's an LA guy. Which other team are going to cheer for in LA?
Oh, the Lions, of course. We got the Lions twice. Oh, we got the Rams twice. Go Lions.
You nuts.
Well,
you and those
that's
Lions.
That's what happens when you move to Michigan.
They do it to you. And now here is Kyle Tucker up to the plate and the pitch. And that is in there for a strike. And Bryce Miller is really just heaving those fastballs. He's really got to mix it up because you can't just throw fastballs against this team. You gotta pitch something nasty, which that is the downside of Bryce Miller is he doesn't mix up his pitches well.
Well, if you're going to throw the fastball, you got to keep it up to the zone. But
now here's a fly ball to deep left center field, and Julio is there, and he makes the catch. And again, that's where I'm saying. Yes, Julio caught that, but even another inch, it was in the zone, and Kyle Tucker just got under that. What I'm saying, the point is,
he goes fastball, both up in the zone. And the thing about it is you get ahead 0-1, and so the next pitch can't go fastball back again up in the zone because he's looking for fastball. So you go split, and he's got a pretty good split versus lefties. But Kyle Tucker is going to kill you.
He will. And if it was Jordan, that thing would have been gone.
That's the dude I want in the Mariner uniform is Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman.
Take him. Take him.
Pay him. Give them what they want. Give them to Bobby Bonilla. Give them the car of their choice.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Bobby?
0-1.
Good Lord.
Hey, I wanted Carlos Correa after 22 because it was like, hey, maybe it will spice up the rivalry between the Mariners and nope, didn't do it.
I like your. By the way, I like your tweet. Mariners magic number is 1 to finish 500.
Maybe I should have put that as as we've got the third out of this game. I probably should of the inning. I should have done a YouTube show going Mariners magic number is 1 to finish 500.
There you go. 1, 2, 3 inning for
Bryce Miller
here in the first. So let's get some bats.
Let's get the bats going. And I wanted to go back to the steroid issue. Mark McGwire was also a great example of a steroid taker. And when I looked up his stats and I read about him, I noticed that he had injuries in 93 and 94. And there was a point he thought he was going to quit baseball. And then next thing you know, he comes back. He's a big dude hitting 50 home runs. It's like, he was definitely juiced because I think his original intentions was he was desperate to come back to baseball. It wasn't like he wanted to cheat and hit 70 home runs.
Well, coincidentally, when you look at McGwire in 88, 89, he's kind of slender. He's still a big dude, but he's slender. And then right around 93, 94, I remember he came back and he was just this crazy built linebacker dude. He just looked like he would be playing, on the defensive line for the LA Raiders. The funny thing about it is it's I think initially back then, it's weird because you didn't have the information like we have on it now, and I would probably assume that he used them to recover from injury, but he also used them to bulk up as well too. You have to, that was the, obviously that was the Canseco rub off. But that's the thing. There's also plenty of examples of guys who took steroids and didn't benefit from them because they just didn't have the God-given ability to hit a baseball.
Ryan Franklin, perfect example. He juiced up the hell up and nothing.
Shane Monahan, Brady Anderson, who initially got a boost from him, but then eventually.
Brady Anderson with that 50 home runs in 96 and then went all the way back down to 18.
Sure. Ken Caminiti had an amazing 2-year stretch, and then he became nothing. There's a lot of examples, but for the most part, like that's the thing. It's like, I always say that I never had
one
a
pitch to
problem with-
Randy Arozarena. That is inside for a ball, as he is up bat right now. He did
Like, I
take a
never
strike
had a-
down the middle.
I never had a problem with baseball players using steroids. I never thought they were cheaters because there was nothing in the rules at that time that prohibited them. The only place where it was.
And here's a ground ball. Whoa, right to Pena. Good stop to throw to first in time.
Was in the minor leagues at the time, but not at the major league level. And during that stretch, I would probably go out of the limb and say that 90% of the league was using them. So,
yeah, I mean, anyone who doesn't think, I hate to say it too, like anyone who doesn't think Edgar didn't take him is delusional. I think he was on it too.
100%. Jay Buhner too. Yeah, 100%. But
Jay Buhner.
The crazy thing though is that the hypocrisy about it, because the stars of the steroid era is what saved baseball after the '94 strike. The league made millions of dollars on the back of the stars of the steroid era, and so did the players. With the numbers that they were producing, players' salaries went apeshit. They went through the roof, right? Baseball actually became better because of it.
As we are looking at an 0-2 count on Luke Raley. He's been taking some quite awful swings, and I do not like the approach. I think the Mariners seem to be a bit jittery after. It's almost like they want to really just overcompensate for yesterday, but it's like, no, just move on from it and just
for sure.
Just play it cool.
Yeah, and Luke is
0-2. Low for a ball.
I'll give Luke his flowers, man. I think Luke's had a very solid year this year. And especially there were stretches where he was the only guy in the lineup producing. I'd like to see Luke back next year. I think he's earned the right to come back.
I think so too. I mean, you got to love the hustle in his blue collar style. The 1-2.
You gotta
now here's a ground ball right to second baseman Altuve. Throw to first in time, and that is going to be 2 outs already. And this game is happening. These outs are happening in a flash.
You got to appreciate the Raul Ibanez-esque. He kind of reminds me of Raul.
He does have that blue collar guy and works hard. Doesn't have exactly the best talent, not exactly the most talented, but he still makes the most of it.
I think he's got some pretty solid talent. Then
we're not talking about like God-given like Griffey type.
No, I mean, but I think that I think his ceiling is all-star quality. I like the fact that he plays multiple positions, gives some flexibility. I think he's a solid major leaguer, man. I really do.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, and the trade and the value that the Mariners got out of that of Jose Caballero was like, how did that happen? And the 1-0.
Yeah, you talk about we've talked ad nauseum about some of the bad trades that Jerry DiPoto's made, but I'll tell you what, man, that was actually one of the better ones. I
think it'd be a top 5 of all time in his time with the Mariners.
Okay, yeah, of the DiPoto era, yeah. Of all time in team history, like no,
not even close. 1-1,
not even close.
That is up high for a ball.
The two best trades in Mariner history were the Langston for Randy Johnson trade, 100%, because we got more out of Randy Johnson.
How about the Ken Griffey Jr. trade
to Cincinnati?
Yes,
that's a top fiver. But I think the two best are Randy Johnson, Mark Langston for Randy Johnson, because we got more out of Johnson than we got out of Langston. Langston was good.
Yep.
And then Jay Buhner from the Yankees.
What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for?
Yeah, Jay Buhner gave us 6. I think he gave us 6 years of at least 30 home runs.
3-1.
Yeah.
And that is ball 4. Take your base, and we got to walk by Justin Turner.
JT.
The timing of that scene from Seinfeld was perfect because it happened. That episode aired a few months after '95, so the timing was like brilliant.
Why the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for?
I'm gonna.
Guys were telling me Ken Phelps.
Well, a few years later, he'll say, "My folks are telling me Tino."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And the pitch to Polanco, and that is a strike. I'm going to make a video. I'm gonna mute out George Steinbrenner's voice. I know that you are upset, George Sascanza, but I just want to let you know that we got Tino Martinez and Jeff Nelson for almost nothing. And I'm going to make something like that on the anniversary of that trade. And the 0-1, and that is a ball. And
that was actually that was like the final pieces of the
Yankees puzzle. Just to replace Don Mattingly. And they got a setup man for John Wetland for craps and giggles. The 1-1.
By the way, does Polo come back next year for you?
No.
No.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think even on an ownership perspective, like I think even in a great ownership, they're still not going to re-up him. Or they're not going to take the option.
I would think that maybe if there is a mutual agreement between club and player where they release him first and then bring him back on a smaller number, maybe. But
we're looking at the 1-2 and the pitch.
It's
but
like
also you got to
1-year show me deals. You know what I mean?
No, I think you just move on to just give the bags to Alex Bregman and then move Josh Rojas to second base and then tell JP Crawford, like, hey, we got Cole Young right up your ass right now.
No, you know what I would do? I would sign Bregman.
2-2.
Play third base.
What are you doing? What? Did you see that swing?
Yeah. And
that was bad.
Oh boy. If you're going to make the move for Cole Young, you're probably moving JP to second.
And then Josh Rojas will probably be your second Dylan Moore or the other Dylan Moore.
Yeah, your fifth infielder. Yeah, he's going to be coming off the bench. And
Josh Rojas can do great things off the. He can do great things off the bench for sure. He's just not a full-time guy. Just like Dylan Moore, like you can use him as like a utility role, like as if you were using Rich Amaral, maybe Bloomquist, and Mark McLemore.
Rich.
Where would you put? So I would say Mark McLemore number 1, Amaral number 2, and then Dylan Moore number 3. Or would you flip any of them?
Let's see.
Amaral was more consistent with his bat.
Yeah, no, I would actually go. Let's see. Actually, now that I think about it, I would actually put Doug Strange in there.
Doug Strange.
Stranger was a very good bat off the bench, man. Not a lot of people remember Doug Strange, but that dude was clutch off the bench.
The Strange clutch man.
I would even consider having Luis Soho in there. Soho was kind of clutch. He was kind of clutch, man.
Everybody scores.
Yeah. I would have.
Yeah, JP.
If you're telling me like a top 5 of all-time Mariner utility guys, I would think Dylan kind of rates in that top 5, but it's like more like 5.
He's a 5, yeah.
Yeah, I would put other guys ahead of him. Yeah, like Rich Amaral, definitely one of them. You know, I have to go back and look at Brent Gates' number. You remember Gator from the early 90s?
Oh.
Yeah, he was in Seattle for a couple of years, like in 93, 94, and he was that second base shortstop utility guy. He was pretty solid too, former Oakland A.
And we are back from the break. And here's the pitch by Miller. And once again, he's just continuing to throw that fastball. Like, it's like you got to mix it up because Houston they are eventually going to figure it out. I mean, it's Houston. And now here is the 1-0 and a ground ball foul. Oh, flick of the switches here. Yeah, my number one critic.
M's gonna sweep Astros. We will definitely see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be happy just to win this game for now.
Yeah, they're gonna need it though because 6 to play, 2 games out.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and he's still throwing that fastball. You know what the scary thing is? Mariners have to sweep out the entire season just to miss the playoffs narrowly. That's scary.
Yeah. And that's the thing is you need help, right? You need the Tigers to go on.
Here's a ground ball right to Polo, the throw to first in time. Yeah, you need all that help, and Tiger's schedule is pretty light.
Pretty light.
Royals schedule is actually, I think, maybe the most challenging, and then Twins schedule is not exactly. I think they have like the Rays and such. I gotta take a look at the lineups for sure to confirm that.
Yeah, It's going to
But
take.
it ain't going to be easy.
It's going to take a miracle, man. For the Mariners, they're going to need some help and they're going to need some good luck. But most importantly, they're going to have to cash in on these games in order for that to happen. And
yeah,
if they're going to make this one happen, wanted to congratulate him on the Cougars' clutch ass whooping when they put on the Dogs. Absolutely.
No, I am happy about that. As a former Husky, I'm still happy about that. Here's a swing and a miss strike too. You know what's even funnier? UW made that move all the way to the Big Ten, and the Cougars have a broken conference, and the Cougars are still ranked. That's what makes it even better.
Well, understand that Washington lost a lot of talent off last year's squad. Lost their AD, lost their head coach, lost their starting quarterback, starting wide receiver. They lost a lot of talent, and Washington State mostly kept their talent.
For some reason, I got way too much pleasure in watching UW's meltdown with Michigan. I was enjoying it so much.
Oh, by the way, I was rooting for Michigan last year, and I always enjoy watching the Huskies meltdown. 100%. 100%.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's the best. Go Cougs.
Because they're the definition of arrogance.
One of my good friends who's a long time Husky gave me a call after the completion of the Apple Cup. He just wanted to congratulate Cougar Nation. He's upset that Washington left the Pac-12 and is on a little bit of a season-long boycott for Husky football. But he was saying, like, you know what, this is not a surprise. The karma
3-2 pitch and a foul ball. Yeah, karma for the greed.
The karma runs deep, and I was like, hell yes, go Cougs. I was like, but you got to give me a go Cougs for this to round out. He's like, I will never, ever give you a go Cougs. So I was like,
We're looking at a 3-2.
Close though.
To John Singleton, and the full count pitch, and that is a foul ball. And again, Bryce Miller's throwing that fastball. His overuse of the fastball is going to catch up. I just know it's going to happen. I think my prediction is the next rotation of the bats, when he gets back to Altuve, I think one of them is going to hit a home run. That's my prediction. Just the way that he's throwing fastballs, because you would think that those guys are like, oh, he's just going fastballs. Okay, that's predictable.
I can't wait to see 6 straight years of a 6th place finish for the Huskies in the Big Ten. That's what I can wait for.
Ball 4, take your base, and that's another 96 mile an hour fastball.
Let him off the hook right here.
And looking at his baseball savant, 43% fastball, 17% split finger, 17% sinker. He's got to use the splits or the sinkers at least.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like he's fastball heavy, and in that situation where you're running inside fastballs. But that being said, you got to mix it up a little bit. They're sitting fastball at the very least. You're absolutely right. You have to mix in that split. But that being said, man, league leaders in ERA since August 1st. I mean, Bryce has got a 2.12. So, Oh,
I lied. Good. The Cougars are not ranked. I thought they were ranked. I saw something that they were ranked. The pitch and a swing and a miss.
Here's look at this. Victor Tarantini.
What an interesting name.
Yeah. Well,
I read it. I read it wrong. Never mind. They're not in the top 25, but they sure as hell should be.
Yeah.
I want to see that happen. I want to see the Cougars finish at least ranked and the Huskies not, just so I can laugh.
I like the start of the new Pac-10. That Washington State Boise State's going to be a hell of a rivalry. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And
Huskies, you're missing out, fools.
And you're hearing it right now that they got, what was it? San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State, and Colorado State. I think Stanford and Cal come back in a couple of years. They're going to get SMU and Houston, and eventually they'll get Washington and Oregon back later on down the road. But right there with SMU and Houston, that makes 10. And Cal, Stanford, and SMU Houston with Washington State, Oregon State, and the 4 teams from the
pitch.
Mountain West, that makes 10.
And now here's a fly ball to left field, and Randy Arozarena is there. And he makes the catch for 2 outs. And again, another fastball by Bryce. If we were doing a drinking game on amount of fastball, every fastball is one shot, we dead.
We'd be hammered. But this one was fastball. Like, he got away with it because that was fastball literally right down the pipe.
Something's going to happen. A home run's going to happen in this game with just the way he's pitching, because you just cannot go fastball. Even Randy Johnson, Mr. Fastball. I'm going to say third inning.
Third inning? Okay. Hey, by the way, BC...
fourth inning. I'll say fourth inning, just to be lenient.
Hey, by the way, BC, nobody cares if the Bills are crushing Jacksonville.
Yeah, sorry. This is a Mariners game, not a football game. Sorry, buddy.
No, but
now we're looking at...
It's the Bills and Jaguars.
Looking at the 0-1 and the pitch. And here's a ground ball, and J.P. Crawford's throw to first, and not in time.
That's funny. Zima doesn't count as a shot, Rooftop. Zima.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to say bottom of the third because Altuve, Kyle Tucker, and Bregman are getting really close. Now it's Jason Hayward, the man who burned the Mariners on that 3-run homer, and interestingly, the Dodgers cut him after that. So, hey, nice homer. Oh, you're cut.
Yeah, Jason Hayward, huh? That would have been a nice little addition to Seattle as well, too.
Or at least Ben Gamble.
Ben Gamble.
The beautiful hair man.
Was he available?
He's on Houston.
Well, I'm saying, like, because he got DFA'd, right? He was available?
Something like that. He was. Could have gotten some depth. Now here's Jason Hayward in the pitch. And that is right down the middle for a strike. And this time it was not a fastball. I couldn't tell what that one was. That one looked like maybe a sinker. Definitely not a splitter, because splitters goes down on the ground usually.
Batting .210 with the Dodgers and Astros. By the way, those are some ugly uniforms, man.
Yeah, not the prettiest. The pitch, and that's popped up. Another 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Crawford. No, Rosarena's there, and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side. And Bryce Miller gets himself out of a little bit of a jam, but it could be... I think third inning, a home run is coming.
Well, hopefully the Mariners take advantage and get on the board first before that dinger comes.
And Flick of the Switch said something where Cougars beat Boise State. They might be able to slip in the top 25. You know what I really want to see? I want to see the Cougars in the playoffs, just so I can laugh at UW even further. And now the likelihood of that, no, probably not likely. But
wouldn't that be excellent if Washington State all of a sudden out of nowhere grabs an at-large and gets in?
Yes, it'd be like poetic justice.
And then gets hot at the right time, and then magically finds themselves in the national championship, and then wins it, and it's a Cinderella season. And my beloved Washington State Cougars are national champions.
And then the Huskies are like, "Oh man, we shouldn't have went to the Big Ten." I mean, here's the thing: I went to UW. Now, granted, 2 of my best friends went to UW, so I guess. But one of them like hates UW too. The other one's like, well, I don't know.
Like it's like strength of schedule. Yeah, well, yeah, dude. All of this is like in my imagination that, they have a rags to riches Cinderella story. It's never going to happen, but yeah, of course.
We just need Ryan Leaf to pop a son, or Drew Bledsoe to pop another one, or something like that, and make him into a quarterback. And plus, Ryan Leaf can be tough on his kids. Like, hey, don't do exactly what I did. If someone invites you to a party, do not go, or you're grounded.
Yeah. Well, I heard some stories about Ryan when he was in college.
Not good stories from what I heard.
Well, he wasn't exactly the most coachable, but that being said, he was winning a lot of games, and Mike Price let him get away with a lot of things.
Talent really took him as far as it could, and now here's J.P. Crawford, and that is a strike. And
typical guy.
As for J.P. Crawford, I would tell him that his job is not safe for next season. It really should not be. The 0-1. No, I said it shouldn't have been safe after 22.
What's funny is he gets a strike right down the middle of the plate, and it's like, don't allow pitchers to work ahead on you. Like, you get a pitch right down the plate, just put it in play.
And the pitch.
Good things happen when you put the ball in play, and it's
exactly.
Dude, it's like be aggressive.
He's not being aggressive at all.
Yeah, you're searching for a run, and you get a fastball. That's the thing. It's like I always say, man, fastball right down the middle of the plate. It's like it's the pitch you're always looking for. The
1-2. Oh, and I think any other umpire would have called that strike 3. CB Buckner would have called that strike 3. But 2-2.
Good no call. Good no call.
Very good no call. As we're looking at the 2-2 for JP. And now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, literally right down the middle. That was a meatball pitch, strike 3. And that is going to be 1 down for the Mariners.
Meatballs. Yeah, like he gets it's fastball to begin the at-bat, which he takes, and then he swings right through fastball.
It's like Hunter Brown was like, here's a home run pitch. Take it. Just like in Space Jam, where the catcher's like, fastball, swing. That was your pitch. The pitch to Rojas. And that was the same exact pitch that J.P. Crawford was given a ball, and now it was made up for against Josh Rojas to make it a strike.
If they trade JP, flick the switch says JP getting traded in the offseason. If that happens, you better have an upgrade for the position, and it can't just be, okay, we're going to give it to Cole Young.
You can't just say that. You cannot give him, he can't hand him the job, the 0-1. But it would seem very likely that they would do such a thing.
100%. But it's
that's what they did to Justin Smoke. They just gift wrapped him a job.
It's like, you can bring him to camp and you can see what he is. But
1-1.
You better have a ready-made shortstop, an all-star level shortstop ready to take over.
As we're looking at the 1-2, camera's pointing to Dan Wilson. Dan Wilson has at least kept this team afloat in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 16
wins.
16 wins as the Mariner manager so far.
2-2. I mean, he couldn't have done worse than Scott Service. Like, Scott Service, if he was manager, this season would have been over by now.
He's let's not mince words. The season pretty much is over. Granted, they can still make it happen, but I will say that this team has played their night and day better under Dan Wilson than they were Scotty.
2-2.
Scotty should have been dumped right at the All-Star break.
Scotty should have been dumped after 2018. That's how far I'm going.
Well, right, but I mean, at least whatever.
The All-Star break. Sure.
Yeah. You still have a lot of time left to work with, and who knows how it plays out. But it was obvious this team had tuned him out.
3-2. They had to, but there was so much of that. Oh, well, but he connects with his players well. If he connected with his players well, they'd be responding to him better. I think it got to a point the players didn't even respect him anymore.
Look at Greg Berhalter and the U.S. men's national team and the performances they were putting out, and it's like you heard the same thing. Oh, he's great, we love him.
3-2.
And it's like, okay,
popped up, fouled.
And if that was the case, then why didn't you play well for him? Oh, okay, that's because you tuned him out.
I mean, there was that one ex-Mariner that said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, no one really responded to Scott Service well."
Yeah, it's true. It's like,
the 3-2.
The players themselves are not going to come out and say it, but I mean, the performance on the field largely mirrored the fact that they had tuned him out.
And Josh Rojas will actually get a walk on this one, so let's hope the Mariners can capitalize this. And
cash it in.
The plate's going to be Victor Robles. And what I would like to see out of Victor Robles, maybe lay down that bunt, because the way he bunts is beautiful. So maybe lay down that bunt to get Julio some work.
There's 1 out, 1 on. And so that if you lay it down, so if you lay one down, you better reach base. Right?
That's the idea.
Yeah, you don't want to surrender the out. So if you're going to lay one down, you're going to try to lay one down the third baseline.
Even though Bregman, a very formidable third baseman, so there is the gamble there. But I'd still do it when you're in a do or die situation.
I don't think it's that, but it's going to be interesting, right? So it's like what, 1-0 counts. It looked like he took on
the 1-0. What kind of bunt was that? I mean, so he did listen to our idea. It's just like, it was just a poorly executed bunt. was a bad pitch to do it too. But I think Hunter Brown knows that. That's the thing. The Astros are not a dumb team. They're a smart baseball team.
I mean, ALCS.
Cheating or not, they're still smart.
Yeah, there's a reason why they continue to make deep runs into the postseason. Probably this year too.
The 1-1. And there is another bunt fouled, and obviously you cannot bunt after that because you foul that again, you're out of there.
You're out of there. So now it's like what? It's 1-2. And now he's in a situation where he's got to swing away. Maybe he grows a pair and decides to
1-2. And foul ball. That was up on the inside, and he had to swing at that one. He actually had no choice but to swing at that.
Absolutely.
Basically, that's just survival mode. That's exactly what you want to do as a pitcher, is pitch those on the inside, because when you hit that skinny part of the bat, it ain't going anywhere.
That actually was I don't know. I kind of think that was a good pitch to hit.
1-2.
Yeah. 2 strikes. What I like about his 2-strike approach is he chokes up on the bat a little bit. This is something that I wish every
1-2 pitch
would be paying attention
to. Low for a ball, 2-2.
It's the 2-strike approach. He's kind of choking up a little bit on the bat, and he's going to swing at anything close to the zone. That's exactly what you want to do with 2 strikes.
We're looking at the 2-2 for Victor Robles and the pitch. And a good take by Victor Robles again, 3-2. So at least we've seen Justin Turner, Josh Rojas, and Victor Robles are at least fighting it off well.
Has he been your best second half Mariner?
Victor Robles? By far, not even close.
Yeah.
Some will say Julio, but it's Victor Robles, 3-2. And that is all 4.
Yeah, for the last couple
but that came late. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But we can only hope for next season that Victor Robles will just actually he's already got the contract, but we hope that he does it again. Oh, is Steve Mike's just a prop? Sounds like his audio is being captured through monitor or something. Worth checking.
No, I got a crappy mic, y'all.
How much was it?
That's a good question.
If it's a Logitech, let me know, because I know how to at least software your way out of it.
No, it's not a Logitech. It's a piece of crap. I'm getting a new one very soon.
Cuddy Soup, how do you feel about my audio? Is it good? Do you think it's good? Cuddy Soup? Let me know, because I need all the feedback for it. And the only problem with this microphone, it's very software based. Yesterday, my mic sounded horrible, but because it was on really bad settings, and I was putting my microphone literally on my face, so of course there's going to be a lot of distorting. And now here is Julio Rodriguez, and that is going to be low for a ball. This season with runners in scoring position, 250 with 3 home runs and 40 RBIs. And the sad thing is that he might actually be the best player on the team with runners in scoring position. That's bad.
Oh, dude, it's championship. Oh. This team is terrible.
It's all about trying to finish 500. The pitch, and here's a ground ball, and that is gonna be. He is out of there. It's gonna be a fielder's choice. Heads up play by Jeremy Pena, and I think he's been the MVP of this game thus far with his amazing defense. I hate to say it, but he is getting credit where he should be getting credit where credit is due.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's a heads up play on the. Heads up play at shortstop, getting the lead runner at third. That was. Geez.
Cuddy Soup, relax.
You're not rude, bud.
You know what's worse? What is rude is you say that his mic sounds overly amazing. Then that's rude because you're lying.
Well, here's the thing. I'm in a room. There is an echo, but the cool thing about the StreamYard platform is they have echo canceling, so it kind of.
Oh, and now here's a line drive, and that is a base hit. I wonder if that's going to score a run. Here is Robles to throw the plate, and that is not in time, and the Mariners get on the board to make it 1-0 on an RBI by Cal Raleigh.
Wow, he knocked the crap out of that one, didn't he?
That was heavily needed.
Absolutely, RBI single. Nice little clutch base hit right there off of Hunter Brown, and that's exactly how you get this thing rolling. Getting the being aggressive, getting the early run, gives Bryce a little breathing room.
Boom.
Boom.
And now here is Randy Arozarena. Now here's the pitch. And that is a swing and a miss. And he really wanted to nuke that one badly. He was desperate to nuke that one.
Cow for president. Come on now.
Come on. I don't like those. I don't like those celebrities for president crap. I just don't like. I wouldn't even want to hear Rooftop for president. Like, no, thank you. The pitch.
No, it's just, dude. I get it, man. He hits home runs, but outside of that, he doesn't do anything. He like, as far as offense goes, like he's literally feast or famine. I'm not like that's the thing is I can respect his slugging. Fantastic.
But we're looking at the 0-2 for Randy Arozarena and the pitch.
Nobody
that is up high for a ball.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear Rooftop for president. Yeah, flick the switch says no. So that's funny.
And now we're looking at 1-2. And there's a ground ball, and that's probably going to end this inning, and it will. But at least Randy Arozarena tried to somewhat run for it. And that will retire the side. As we go to the bottom of the third, and we're going to play the prediction that one of those guys are going to hit a home run in that inning. Cuddy Soup, more or less a figure of speech LMA. I'm not that into politics. I'd rather watch my sports teams. Even then, I don't even like that figure of speech that much anyway.
Same. I'd rather watch my sports team fail than watch a debate. I know how I'm doing.
Oh, don't get me started. That debate. That debate. Here's my thing. I didn't watch it. The thing was, as soon as the Mariners game got on, I was like, okay, Mariners game. Because I watched the debate, and all I could say was it was very unwatchable.
All I know is that there's nothing Kamala Harris could say that would get me to vote for her. One of the worst candidates in the history. Now I have to tell YouTube that. Now I'm going to say this. YouTube, he's joking. It was a joke. See, I have to save ourselves. And I was joking on top of joking. There is nothing that will get me to vote that way. So anyway, but yeah, no. Although, let me ask you a question, Rooftop. So if you were running, let's just say hypothetically.
Sure.
What would you run on? Free college tuition?
Let's just go to, I'm just going to say my two favorite presidents of all time.
Okay.
John F. Kennedy and Calvin Coolidge. I'm just going to go off of that, read their policies, and then just go from there.
I'm familiar with I'm familiar with Mr. Coolidge.
Coolidge was the forgotten I call him the forgotten libertarian.
My two favorite presidents, I guess you can say, would be there's a few. Teddy Roosevelt, because he established the national park system. Big ups to Teddy. Also,
hold on, the pitch, and that's a ball. Okay, you can go.
I want to say it was who was
and Jake Myers gets a 1-0 count so far.
Dwight Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Pitch.
Dwight
1950.
Dwight D. Eisenhower for hipping the U.S. public to the military complex, hipping that in his outgoing speech, and then also Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, huh? And now here is going to be the 1-1 to Jake Myers, and that is a swing and a miss, and he definitely went all the way through on that one. No question about that.
Thank God Steve's a real American hero.
As we're looking at the 1-2 for Jake Myers.
Yeah.
Ban Instacart and DoorDash. I wouldn't ban it necessarily.
Jobs,
The 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, I would.
But I think if I were to say those are my 2 favorites, I think everyone would have an idea of what I am now. If anyone had questions on me, who I'm voting for this, I'm like, nope, leave me alone on that. Do not ask me any questions on that.
No offense, but how did you blow a 10-game lead in the division 1 game at a time, buddy? That's how we did it. 1 game at a time.
1 game at a time. And I foreseed it. And the pitch to Altuve. Oh, swing and a miss. And this time, Bryce Miller did not throw a fastball on that. Thank God.
He would ban Instacart and DoorDash and impeach all of the Mariners front office. How would you impeach the Mariners? I would prosecute him to the full extent of the law. Yeah.
And now we're looking at the 1-0 or 0-1. And that is strike 2.
I would create a constitutional amendment that bans field turf and the designated hitter.
Thing is, I'm not really a band guy. That's the thing. I'm more of those.
I'm not a band guy either.
Oh, swing and a miss. And look at that. Look at that. Miller took my advice of mixing it up. He mixed it up. They were in the low 80s. He mixed it up.
Yeah, I'm not a big band guy either. And the fact that Ms. Harris is is coming out trying to control speech. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That doesn't fly. Because we can't come on YouTube and say how shitty the Mariners are.
And here is a fly ball, and Julio catches that, and that will make it a 1-2-3 inning. Easy 1-2-3. Very good for Julio Rodriguez. And that is going to retire the side as we go to...
Whoa. Flip the switch. Says he would rather never win a World Series than win by cheating. Are you kidding me? I want a World Series by hook or crook. And if I got to bang on trash cans in order to get one, oh, dude, I'm banging on trash cans.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Here's the thing. When at all cost, this is not a game. This is war.
In baseball, man, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Never. How dare you? No.
How dare you?
Roids, trash cans, whatever it takes. 100%. See, Cuddy Soup has got like 100%. Man.
Spitballs.
Yeah, dude. Roids, trash cans, having a guy with a pair of binoculars in center field giving me the signs. 100%.
Have
substances. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like, that's the thing. It's like people were outraged at the Astros, and actually I gave them an A+ for ingenuity and creativity. I'd never heard of banging on trash cans. I thought it was great.
As we are in commercial break. Oh, they're showing a baby.
So, by the way, for all you God's watching you, yeah.
Man, flick of the switch is something else, huh?
God right now is currently hanging out with Bruce Almighty. You know, they're figuring things out in Buffalo right now. I think this is an opportune time to remind everybody to use the SeatGeek code to save $20 off your purchase with SeatGeek. So we're in the now the football portion of the yearly schedule. So if you're looking to get Lions tickets, or you're looking to get Lions tickets, or Michigan Wolverine tickets, go head over to SeatGeek, man, and use the promo code RoofTopSports and get $20 off.
$20 off, baby.
I would, yeah, exactly. Morgan Freeman's God. I would, yeah, like, you know, you can get Lions tickets, not Seahawks tickets, because, you know, who wants to go watch a Seahawks game?
I do. Well, wait, I don't want to go to the game because it's a bunch of hassle.
Who are you rooting for come Monday night? Of course, it's the Detroit Lions. Of course, I'm rooting.
It's the Seattle Seahawks, and Steve and we're going to go at each other's throats that game. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, you know what? How can you not root for the NFL version of Ryan Gosling, man? It's Jared Goff.
1-2. He's on my fantasy football team, so I do need him to do well, but I'm probably going to start CJ Stroud that week.
Dude, I call him Jared Gosling.
Yeah, he does have that Jared. He does have that Gosling face. He really does.
He does. He does.
And the 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 3, as Luke Rayleigh's been awful today, to say the least.
So
that's just me being nice.
Petty Soup is asking, can he share a fun personal Mariners related fact with us? 100%.
What do you got? Oh, can you share a fun personal Mariners related fact with you guys? Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it. Show me everything you've got. They come out with the win in the last 2 years. Yeah, in the pitch, and that is a strike. Your last name is Griffey, and you share a birthday with Ichiro. Whoa.
So your name is Cuddy Griffey or Soup Griffey?
Who knows? Chicken noodle soup Griffey or chicken noodle Griffey?
Tomato basil Griffey? How about
who knows?
Barley Griffey?
If Steve comes back, I think we're gonna have a problem. Here's the 1-1.
Hey man,
Herder, what are you doing with that swing, man? Austin Griffey.
Hey Flick, looking for free, buddy.
We're looking at a 1-2 for Justin Turner.
Austin Griffey, huh? That, by the way, I can totally hear Tom Hudler say Austin
1-2.
Griffey.
Junior! Hey! Ho! Tom Hudler does have that voice, but the one knock I had on him, he doesn't know how to say super. That's the one knock I have on Tom Hudler. Other than that, he's a great voice.
When would
and
he
the
ever
2-2
the word super?
Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle
94 Game 5 versus Denver. I said that was the jinx. Looking back on it,
was he doing the courtside PA for the Sonics in '94?
He did the Seattle Supersonics.
The Seattle Supersonics. Yeah.
That was the jinx.
They've
Sorry,
come
Tom
out
Hudler.
with a win the last 2 years. I'll be
Pitch.
surprised if they can do it again. Yeah.
And that is a ball.
I could care less about Bills Jaguars.
Yeah, I'd rather cover a Mariners game.
By the way, did you happen to see Arsenal versus Man City yesterday?
Nah.
Oh, buddy, you missed one. You missed one.
Did I?
Oh, you missed one, bud.
And the pitch, and that is a foul ball by Jorge Polanco. I wonder how badly my fantasy football team's getting beaten up, which, by the way, it's getting beaten up by a team that has 2 guys out on his starting lineup. And my entire team is healthy.
Who's your starting quarterback?
Jared Goff.
Who's your backup quarterback?
CJ Stroud. So either way, I was screwed.
Who's your running backs?
James Cook. So he's doing me stuff, but Josh Allen with 28 points on the other team.
I don't know who James Cook is. What team does he play for?
Bills.
Okay. Who's your receivers? Rome Odunze?
Amon St. Brown. Marvin Harrison Jr. And we're looking at the 2-2.
He had a good game too.
For Jorge Polanco and the pitch. And here's a liner and caught by the Altuve, and that's going to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning by Houston. Thank God the Mariners scored that run, and we are going into the bottom of the 4th inning.
1-0. Running back for the Ills. Ills Nation, baby.
1-0 for sure.
Yeah.
I'm now just...
I don't know, man. This game is boring.
Good. I want it to be boring. I want it to be a very boring win.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me. I want to see action.
What? You want to see action on the Houston side?
No,
if you want to see it,
I want to see the Mariners like roll off a 6-run inning. That's what I would like to see. If we're being honest.
Hey, if you want action on the Houston side, no problem.
We're about to find out.
No, you know what I want to see? I want to see Julio Rodriguez hit a home run off of Hector Neris and then call him a, well, you know.
A monkey feather?
I don't know, but I came across this. I came across this guy from the Dominican Republic because obviously he knows the culture because he's from the Dominican Republic. He literally was like this to Seattle media. Guys, guys have this wrong. What he said to him was literally calling him a wussy. It was anything like that. It was literally just pure trash talking. But Julio got...
Yeah. Hey, flick of the switch. Yeah. See, I was going to use the mother effer, but, you know. So I went monkey feather. Shoot me. What do you want from me, man? I was gonna drop an MFer, but, you know. Ape tickler? Yeah. I guess that kind of has some connotations of, you know, but that's, you know, that kind of leads to butt play. I don't think we're at that level of butt play. So.
Hey, also, everyone, flick of the switch, and everyone, give me a mic check and see how my mic is doing, because I know Steve can't exactly hear mine from the StreamYard end, but on the YouTube end, let me know. Because I had to make some adjustments. I mean, you think it sounds good, but we're talking about on the YouTube's end. The audience. Because I am really thinking about replacing this mic real soon, because Logitech is just too software-based. The pitch. Woo! 95-mile-an-hour fastball. What's new?
Flick says terrible, way too loud. Lower the volume.
Lower, huh? Okay, how about now? And now we are looking at the 1-0 pitch, and that is outside for a ball again.
He said, see the off switch on the side, go with that.
Flick of the switcho.
Well,
you never fail to disappoint.
I think he's lost that love and feeling. That's really what it is. He's got that divorced dad.
The pitch. And a 3-0 count on Alex Bregman. It looks like Bryce Miller's trying to pitch kind of away from him, as it seems.
Yeah.
But on no outs, it doesn't seem that necessary to do so. As we're looking at the 3-0. And now the pitch. And now that one is a strike. But again, alarming. It is literally almost right down the middle. So Bryce Miller is really asking for trouble. As we're looking at the 3-1. And now here is the pitch. And that is a foul ball. And Bryce Miller really is heaving those fastballs. Flick of the switch, I know by now. You're arguably my number one fan at this point. And number one critic, which is good. I mean, I'm willing to take those critics. Except the ones on Twitter. The Twitter people I should not be engaging with anymore. I really shouldn't. It's a bad habit that I do, but I just do. And now we're looking at 3-2. And here is the pitch. And here is a fly ball to left field. And Julio is there. And he makes the catch. Woo! That gave me a little bit of a heart attack there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the Pink at the Park on September the 29th. I wonder if, it's about the breast cancer awareness. I wanted to say it in a more funny term, but didn't want to sound too inconsiderate or whatever they would say. But dang, those Bills really are. It's 34-3 at the half. Oh my God. And now here is the pitch to the swing and a miss. And thank God Yordan Alvarez isn't playing, because I think if Yordan was playing, I think he would have hit a home run in this game already, especially off of Bryce Miller with the way he pitches. On this day, Ichiro recorded his 200th hit for the 10th straight season. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and Julio is there once again, and he makes the catch. And I'm telling you, those amount of fastballs at Bryce Miller, his over-aggressiveness is making me nervous.
That's funny. Pornhub sponsoring that night.
Hey.
Nice. Nice.
Flick of the switch and the jokes. Never disappoints.
I'll tell you what, man. That's a heck of a night. If Pornhub was the official sponsor. Good Lord. You know, just saying.
Now here's John Singleton in the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and I think that one was a splitter this time, 88. So maybe use more of that, Bryce Miller.
Let me ask you, Flick. So if Pornhub actually sponsored that night, who would be throwing out the first pitch?
I don't want to know. The 0-1. I would say Paul Pierce because he is that kind of guy. He literally took a job related to that field after he got fired from ESPN.
Did he really?
I think he did. I have to double check. And the 1-1 pitch, and that is a ball. And Paul Pierce was, him as ESPN guy was just unwatchable.
You said Diddy. That's funny.
I'll take a look at Paul Pierce.
He said Diddy.
And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field, but Julio's going to be there. And he makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side as we go into the top of the fifth. It is 1-0 Mariners.
God, he just missed that pitch again. He's flirting right in the middle of the right in the middle of the plate.
Now, which commercial is this? This is Taco Time or Taco Bell? Oh, it's Taco Bell. You know, that's a good way if, in case you're having bathroom problems, if you know what I mean, if you have evacuation problems, got to go to Taco Bell, and it will just go right through, and then boom.
Yeah. Taco Bell will definitely help you take a shit. Yeah.
Taco Bell actually gave me COVID before, literally.
I'll tell you what though, like Taco Time is such an underrated killer. I love Taco Time, dude. I can have Taco Time 10 times out of 10. It's so good.
Then what's the best fast food out of all of them? And now we're only going to go by big names. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's.
Is there anything else? Man? Jack in the Box, man.
Okay, who is the worst? I think McDonald's is probably the worst.
By far.
It has, at this point, all their food has like zero personality. At least Burger King and Wendy's have a personality.
It tastes the same. Everything tastes the same at McDonald's. Regardless of what you order, it tastes the same.
My advice to you also, don't get a Big Mac. You're better off getting a quarter pounder.
I haven't eaten at McDonald's in such a long time, but
keep it that way.
Yeah, like I would rather eat at Wendy's or Burger King, but Jack in the Box is by far the best. That's the one thing. Like, I don't eat a lot of fast food to begin with, but I do miss the Jumbo Jack, man. I love Jack in the Box, man. You get 2 Junior Jacks and 2 tacos. Let's go.
Speak of, I went to a fast food restaurant in Brazil when I was at the airport because I wanted to check out their style of food. And their fries and burgers were so big, and it was even cheaper price.
I'll say this though, man. Chick-fil-A is pretty strong though. Chick-fil-A is okay, man. Their spicy chicken is actually not terrible. It's pretty good.
Breakfast sandwiches is actually McDonald's' only effective food, honestly. I think their breakfast menu is basically literally carrying their business at this point.
The Egg McMuffin, phenomenal.
No, the sausage Egg McMuffin, man.
You are high, sir. It is the bacon Egg McMuffin.
Excuse me.
I didn't stutter. I'm just saying, you get yourself the Egg McMuffin with bacon. There you go. Or you go bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. That's it.
The bagel's too stuffy for me.
Yeah, but see, like the Switch knows what I'm talking about. Bacon, egg, McMuffin.
All you fools. I'm the sausage guy.
The problem with McDonald's sausage is it's gross. That's the problem with it.
Then we have different taste buds, obviously. The 1-0.
Burger King sausage is pretty good.
Okay, fine. I will check out. Yeah. No, Burger King's breakfast burrito is bomb.
Burger King's breakfast burrito, I've never had it. But you know what?
You gotta try it.
You go to Jack in the Box and you get the breakfast Jack.
Flick of the switch. I knew it. Flick of the switch. Yeah. I knew he would do that.
I knew you would see that. I knew you would see that.
1-2.
Seriously, Jack in the Box.
We got a ground ball to Pena, throw to first. In time.
Yep. Get the breakfast Jack. It's very good. That's a good breakfast, man. And their ultimate breakfast sandwich It's got bacon and sausage on it. Woo. Yeah.
Okay, can I say sausage consumer, or should I just say nothing? Or should I just say they're gross? Okay, fine. You win. Flick the switch. And now the pitch to Rojas.
Flick the
and
switch is
that is a strike.
But he's insinuating that you like to frequent the sausage parties.
Oh, thank you. By the way, I got to show you this fantasy football thing. This is...
All right.
Yeah, that's who I'm losing to. I have a guy that has scored 0 points, and he's still beating me on 2 players.
Look at that, man. It's the Seattle water bottles.
And he's... Oh, and also, I asked him to film his reaction, and it's him, like, cheering and being all happy, so I'm going to put that as content for my fantasy football part of my channel. As we're looking at the 2-1 for Josh Rojas, and now here is the pitch, and that is a foul ball. Now, I think that looked like a little bit of a slider. And Hunter Brown's been getting diced up quite a bit. He has 80 pitches in 5 innings, so I expect the bullpen to be busy. And that is the encouraging thing, because if you can get to Hunter Brown and make him pitch a lot, that means you can get into the bullpen. The 2-2. And now here is a fly ball to right field's glove, and that's going to be out. 2 outs, shall I say. I hope by the time at 7 o'clock, I hope you'll be around to sing 7th inning stretch with me. Just to annoy Flick at the switch. But honestly, the real bottom line of fast food advice is just go to a small business one. Get more quantities. And now that's a foul ball by Victor Robles. Food has more personality. As we're looking at the 0-1 so far. Padres have a huge lead in that wild card. And now here's the 0-1. And that is outside for a ball. And that is going to be 1-1 on Victor Robles. Oh, flick of the switch. He's got it. He loves that mute button, doesn't he? And that's a foul ball again. And Victor Robles really has been fighting it off.
Oh, yeah. Jack in the Box Homestyle Ranch Chicken Club. Oh yeah. What
about the Big Mac? Yeah. No. Big Mac is gross.
Jack in the Box Spicy Crispy Chicken is next level. Out of all
1-2. And here's a ground ball right to Jeremy Pena, and he's been quite busy today. And that's going to be the 3rd out of this inning.
Good Lord.
We go to bottom of the 5th, and this game has really been breezing along, shall I say.
See, the thing about it is I remember back in the day when, the bacon ultimate cheeseburger was the thing from Jack in the Box, except it's only meat and cheese, and that's it. And I actually like the lettuce, tomato, and pickle on that bad boy.
Speak of, I gotta, you know what? Because of this, I gotta show this video.
They also had the best commercial for the bacon ultimate cheeseburger at Jack in the Box back.
No, here's the best commercial ever.
With the meaty cheesy
My most
boys.
favorite. No. My most favorite commercial of all time. It'll be right here. Here it is.
This is our year. Yeah, right now. In the first round, the Seattle Seahawks select Antenna Ball.
Hey, Seahawks fans, now when you buy any one at Jack in the Box, you'll get a free Seahawks antenna ball.
Why'd we take that guy? He's free?
Yeah, he's free.
Hey, by the way, go onto YouTube and type in Jack in the Box meaty cheesy boys. And bring that bad boy up. Bring that bad boy up. Into the ball.
Meaty cheesy. Okay.
Jack in the Box meaty cheesy boys.
Wait, is this based on the Beastie Boys?
No, it's not.
It's okay. I'll do it on the next commercial break.
All right. It's
I have it
best,
loaded.
Man. It's the best. Yeah, I remember that one, the antenna ball. Hey, by the way, do you like cheese on your burgers?
I have to. I think it's a rule. You almost have to have cheese on your burgers. Now, if you're lactose intolerant, that's different.
I don't rock the cheese on the burger because usually it's that Kraft singles, man. I can't get down.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And
Do it,
Josh
man.
Rojas almost made a catch. Oh, remember there was a spelling bee Jack in the Box commercial?
I don't remember that one.
No, I remember a lot of things. I used to watch too much TV, and that was including watching a ton of Mariners games.
Oh yeah,
From
I mean,
2000 to 2003, I'm pretty sure I watched at least 100 of those games each season.
I'm telling you though, right? I used to watch a lot of Mariner games too, and that's usually that was like the stopping ground for Jack in the Box commercials.
Was the 0-1. Oh, swing and a miss, and Bryce Miller is at least his fastball is being better located, I guess. I don't know.
One of my favorite was the bacon ciabatta burger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Kraft cheese is gross. Yep,
Yeah.
Kraft cheese is so fake.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of these fast food joints rock the Kraft singles for their cheese, and it's like meh.
There's a reason why they're big on the stocks, and they have a dividend.
Yeah,
American cheese should have a warning label. No, it's all about the. Look at the switch. It's all about the pepper jack cheese.
I think it does have a warning label on it. Not real cheese. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you're doing the spicy
1-2,
chicken, you gotta go
swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yes.
He did it.
Here we go. Ooh, nice. There it is. Nice split. Got him fishing. So the Mariners are clinging to a 1-run lead.
Yeah, but they need more than that because we know that this is not going to be sustainable, especially with the bullpen. But Bryce Miller has surprisingly been extremely efficient. I probably just jinxed it. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Throw to first. And that is in time.
Oh, yeah. Good sharp cheddar. Yeah. Look at the switches right up my alley, man. 100%, man.
One of these days, we're all going to hang out. I want all of us to hang out at an Everett Aqua Sox game. That's what I want. I mean, we're due for that, Mr. Silver.
Yeah. Or
maybe if I go to Detroit. Maybe if I go to Detroit.
I'll let you know. If you've never been to Comerica, man, that's a very cool ballpark.
I'm going there and having their pizzas too. The pitch, and that is a strike.
So the Detroit style pizza depends on where you get it. It's good, but it all depends on where you get it from.
Okay, Chicago, New York, or Detroit. The pitch and a swing and a miss. New York. I think I'm planning to go to New York next year to go to a Mariners Yankees game and get their pizzas, and I have a cousin to catch up with.
Yeah, like the New York pizza, it's flat. I like the flat crust. It's big, and then you fold it up like an envelope.
And here's a fly ball, and that is gonna do so. Oh, Victor Robles makes the catch, and nice hustling by Victor Robles as he makes the catch, and that's gonna retire the side. And top of the 6th, still 1-0, and we got Rodriguez, Raleigh, and a Rosareno. So they gotta do something. We cannot cling on to a 1-0 lead. It just will not work.
Yeah, we gotta play at 100%. But you know what? I'm a pizza purist, man. I like a good cheese pizza, man.
So you're Kevin McAllister.
Oh yeah, I stay home alone all the time.
Then I'm Buzz. I'm gonna steal your cheese pizza.
I'll tell you what though, a good New York slice, a good cheese slice, 100%.
New York.
The thing about Chicago style, and you got to play that Meaty Cheesy Boys commercial.
Oh, right, yeah.
You'll dig it.
Takes a lot for me to dig on commercials, though, but we'll see.
Girl, you know that there's one thing that I love, but it's not you I'm thinking of. I want the ultimate cheeseburger. Break it down. Cheese, meat, that's it. Baby, you know it's hot and juicy. This Jack will make it till you want to ring.
Girls love this.
Our target is men.
What's the target?
Aha.
best, man. It's the best. Oh, dude, you can't get any better than the Meaty Cheesy Boys, man. Especially if you were a boy band fan back in the day.
Look what I have.
Yeah.
The antenna ball, baby.
The antenna ball. That's awesome, by the way. You know what we were talking about pizza just a second ago. The problem with the Chicago style is it's like literally it's a 6-inch deep dish, right? And that's the thing is you have to eat it with a fork. It's like
I eat pizzas with a fork all the time.
But it's lasagna.
Fair.
It literally is. It's lasagna.
Ground ball to Jeremy Pena. The backhanded throw to first and not in time. And Julio gets in there safe. And here's what I want to see from Julio. Go steal second. Show your aggressiveness.
Yeah,
Do it.
The switch is right. It's too much crust. Look at that. Look at that.
Hey, if I'm in Chicago and I'm in an area potentially where I might get, bang, bang, if you know what I mean, I at least want to think about pizza more than that. So I'm okay with all that bread. That's all I'm going to say about Chicago.
If you're going to Chicago,
Which I
don't get
shouldn't.
the pizza. You go to Al's Beef. Okay, the best sandwiches in the world. Yeah, bang bang. It's called Al's Beef, and what they do is it's like this thinly sliced ribeye that they put on bread. But what they do is they dump the bread into the au jus, and then they top the beef with jardiniere, that spicy jardiniere. And oh my God, it's meat, cheese, jardiniere dipped in au jus.
1-1.
Holy crap, it's so good.
That is a strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, like if you're going to Chicago, you do the Al's Beef. Don't do the pizza, you do the beef. If you're a sandwich guy, and I'm a sandwich guy,
I'm not.
you got to do Al's Beef.
And we're looking at the 1 and 2 and the pitch. The way I eat a burger will make you inflict cringe.
Knife and fork? You go knife and fork?
Worse. That's part of it.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. How do you eat a burger?
I rip the buns out and add more lettuce. Protein burger, baby. The 2-2. God, swing and a miss.
Oh, okay. So you're a lettuce wrap guy.
Lettuce wrap, but I still eat the fries because I still need the carbs throughout the day, at least.
Sure. That's not weird at all, man. I used to lettuce wrap for a little bit too.
I once went on a date with this person, and when she saw that I was ordering like the protein burger, she cringed. Like she gave me a.
That's you don't do that on a date though, right? So you do the lettuce wrap in the comforts of your own home, but on a date, it's like I understand that you want to stick to your diet 100%. But like that's like 5 dates in where you start letting her know your quirks, but on a date, you go full bun. You got to go full bun.
Full bun. Lesson learned.
If you're trying to smash, you got to go full bun. You got to go full buns if you're trying to smash.
Well, actually, you gotta go all in on everything. Gotta go all soda. You gotta do this. You gotta do that.
Flick of the
you gotta
switch,
eat
man.
like you don't care. Bitch.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a ball. Right. What's really shocking though is I know we're talking about food, but Julio Rodriguez really should be stealing second by now.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got the feet, and it's not like Kikuchi is pitching. If Kikuchi was pitching, I can understand that. But Julio should have been. Yep, here the runner goes. And a swing and a miss, and the throw to second, and easy stolen base for Julio. He could have done that when Cal Raleigh was at bat.
Yeah, but the biggest, yeah, you're right. Left-handed, yeah, that's the thing. It's left-handed bat. You want Cal Raleigh in the left-handed bat there if you're trying to steal. But Julio got the steal. Runner in scoring position. Flick the switch.
24
right,
of 29.
Flick
now here's the pitch.
Man.
Ground ball foul. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and Hunter Brown has been getting taxed quite a bit. I wonder if he's at 96 pitches right now.
Yeah.
I think this might be his final inning.
You're probably right. Yeah, no, a good Reuben sandwich with like a good rye bread that's grilled, and then you get the corned beef, and then like a good sauerkraut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Randy Arozarena swung at a bad pitch. What's new? And that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to be 2 down.
Yeah, but you want that Joker sloppy as hell. That's funny. Yeah, I like my sandwiches wrapped in kale, said nobody ever.
I'd like to give Randy Rosarena a knuckle sandwich for his bad at bats.
Yeah, you're gonna get the sweeper right there, and
The pitch to Rayleigh, and
good
that is
lord.
a strike, and that was a nice pitch by Hunter Brown. This 1-0 lead is still making me uncomfortable. It really is.
I'll tell you what,
Really
man.
is.
You know what else is good? Is a turkey Rachel. You know what that is? So
Nah.
it's grilled sourdough with grilled turkey, Thousand Island dressing, and sauerkraut. It's basically a Reuben
A
with
1,
turkey.
and that is a ball. But speak of Thousand Island dressing, you've seen. Have you seen Good Burger? Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, I can't really say much.
Why not? Dude, I'm never gonna watch it. Go ahead and ruin it.
The 1-1. So they were competing against this huge franchise called Mondo Burger. So
Okay.
Ed, like one of the guy Keenan and Kel or whatever, he made his own sauce, which basically saved the business. And it was basically a 1,000 Mile Island sauce.
1,000 Mile Island sauce.
Whatever the sauce is called.
It's called Thousand Island. That's it.
1,000 Island sauce. That's what it basically was.
Yeah. I like it.
As we're looking at the 2-1 so far for Luke Rayleigh.
Yeah, you can do it with smoked turkey flick. But
And the pitch.
It's grilled turkey,
Swing and a
Island,
miss, strike 2.
sauerkraut, and tomato, man. It's the best.
I gotta tell you what kind of pizza I do. I do half of it with literally all meat, and the other half is all veggie. It's deadly. It's awesome.
So you said, okay, so half of your pizza is meat, half of your pizza is veggie.
Yes.
Yeah, that actually does
Pitch.
sound pretty good.
With
Now,
pesto sauce. No marinara, no Alfredo. I do
Ooh,
pesto.
Yeah, pesto. Oh, yeah.
It's healthier and better.
Oh, pesto is the best. What kind of meats do you put on there? Are you like full pepperoni, ground beef, sausage? Oh, dude, I like there is a chicken bacon artichoke, and the sauce is the white garlic sauce on a thin crust. Yes.
2-2 for
that's
Luke
what I miss.
Rayleigh.
That's one of the biggest things I miss about Washington, man.
2-2.
The Papa Murphy's.
Wow. Luke Rayleigh literally just let one right down the middle. He is not having a good game.
Oh,
he is
boy,
just
fastball
not.
right down. Yeah.
That was his pitch.
Oh, dude. Fastball right down the middle.
That hurts.
Yeah, we don't have Papa Murphy's out here in Michigan, and I do miss it because they're taking chicken bacon garlic.
It's okay. You got Domino's and Papa John's. You'll be okay.
Nah, Domino's is great. Domino's is trash. We have Cottage Inn out here, which is a Detroit chain, and they do a chicken bacon ranch, which is next level good.
This game is so nerve-wracking that we have to talk about food to relieve our stress from this game.
Yeah, but it's fun though. It's fun. We're having a good time here.
We really are.
Yeah. Although also there's a chicken bacon barbecue pizza. Ooh. Yeah, Papa John's and Domino's is trash. So is Pizza Hut. Yeah. Trash.
Pizza Hut used to be good. Long time ago.
Way back in the day, yes. Pizza Hut used to be very good. Their deep dish back in the 90s was pretty good.
What happened in the 90s? You know a sign when the 90s was really over? Few events. September 11, my grandpa's open heart surgery in 2000, and I guess all the food's quality declining after 1990s. That's when you knew the 90s. When you describe any of those three, that's when you knew the 90s were over.
Well, there's also a great chain out in Washington called Round Table Pizza.
Yes.
Yeah, Round Table is their taco pizza is next level. They have a cheeseburger pizza where they put pickles on there, the dill pickles on it. So good.
The problem is there's hardly any of them left, and the ones that I saw, they're like a shell of their former self.
Yeah.
They really revamped it in a bad way.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, right? Because McDonald's their chicken nuggets used to be made with, whatever, asses, lips, hooves, whatever. And their chicken nuggets used to be so good, but there was legislation in the late 90s, early 2000s.
And there's a pop up to right field to foul territory. Luke Raley makes the catch, and Bryce Miller amazingly is at 61 pitches.
Yeah, he's been efficient tonight.
Very efficient.
Do you remember the trans fat legislations from like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were restricting trans fats? Well, part of that thing was, they couldn't use processed foods anymore, and so McDonald's went to like all chicken breast for their nuggets, and they weren't the same, right? And McDonald's switched their beef. Yeah,
their beef's pretty good. Not good. Now here's Altuve, and that's going to be wow. It was in the strike zone, but he called it a ball anyway.
A lot of these fast food chains and in the pizza places switch their vendors to a cheaper vendor, and the quality just went down. That's
just
really
died.
what it comes down. Yeah, just
1-0 and a foul ball. That's why you go to those small business places that have a personality, because they don't have to abide by stupid, or they don't care much about the cheapness as much.
Do you remember Godfather's Pizza?
Yes.
They were pretty good.
They were good.
They were pretty good.
And then they just fell apart. The 1-1.
Yeah.
And that's a foul ball. There's one in Wenatchee. I went to that one. That was pretty good.
I used to deliver pizza for Round Table Pizza back in the day, and I used to get their sandwiches and pizza for free on shift. Their sandwiches were the best too.
Hot take. Pizza jobs are extremely underrated.
They're the best, man. Delivering pizza is literally one of the best side gigs.
1-2. And now here is a play to third. Josh Rojas throws the first in time, and Miller's really dealing. But the thing is, that 1-0 lead's just not going to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. They need to play catch up. They're in the perfect phase in the game to get a couple runs right now.
I mean, look at Brian Wu. He was really shutting them down, and the next thing you know, he gives up 4 runs and a drop of a dime.
Do you know what? I was going to say, do you know what also ended the 90s?
What?
2000.
Oh, right. I wasn't aware.
No, I'll just say this. I just had to throw that one in there. That's and that's why a lot of managers these days don't want their starter to go 3 times through the order, as what you were just describing with Brian Will. But that being said, I mean, you look at his pitch count tonight, Bryce Miller, he's thrown 66 pitches. He's in the bottom of the 6th. He's cruising.
But something has got to happen. Something is just bound to happen.
Bryce Miller's been... Would you throw him out there in the 7th?
Yes.
100%.
2-0 and a check swing foul. You have to, because the bullpen is just not what it is as it was last season, the last 2 seasons. Like, it's just not there anymore.
Correct.
So you just can't.
The all-you-can-eat salad bar was the underrated killer of the round table in the Godfather's Pizza. That was the underrated killer.
The 2-1. And that has popped up, and wow, Bryce Miller is actually placing his fastballs really well, and goes to Randy Arozarena, and that's going to retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning by Bryce Miller, and the best part of this game is going so quickly that we can talk about food all we can.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this though, right? Because I used to do lunch at those places, right? Because they would have the hot area where they put pizzas out there, and you can get pizza by the slice. So you would be able to do slices of pizza, breadsticks, and salad for like $8. It was the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best, man. Yeah, I miss Round Table Pizza. Not Round Table Pizza, but Papa Murphy's, the best. What was the sandwich? Oh yeah, and the Tan Brothers, man, in Everett and Seattle, man, the best pho. The best pho was at Tan Brothers.
Was that the one near the stadium? Because I did go to a pho nearby.
Because it's on Evergreen. So no,
I really want to go back to Everett again for like the silver tip season, because I want to check out all the food places there too.
Yeah. But
downtown Everett has food. Yeah, like, as much as Everett unfortunately has a not so positive reputation in downtown, but when it comes to their food, don't mess around.
No, it's good, man. I used to hop off on, there was a place on Evergreen I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a Mexican place, but it was like a drive-through where you can get burritos and tortas for like super cheap, and their food was the best.
Man, where'd all the time go?
The original one was on Dravis Street, close to Magnolia. Are you talking about Tan Brothers? Yeah, their pho
Something
is
like that, yeah.
It's the best. Oh, their broth is the best. And
Looks like Hunter Brown is done, and I was correct.
Yeah, and you got to put the jalapenos in the pho, 100%. Oh, Romeo's, yeah, Romeo's Pizza. There was a great bar in right off of Ballinger Way called the Timeout. This was in not Lake Forest Park, but what's the name of that? Ballinger Way, right off I-5. There was this bar called the Timeout Bar, and they used to do Taco Tuesdays where you can get 50-cent tacos. You know what I mean? And you would order like $1 tacos, and you would get like 6 of them. Oh God, their tacos were the best, man. Some of those bars out in that area were the best. Woo.
Uh-oh, looks like Turner's having a little bit shaken up at the moment.
What's going on with JT?
Who knows?
Is he not bringing Sexy back?
Oh my God, you just had to do that. That song is cringe. I just can't listen to that song. I just can't.
I'll bring in Sexy back.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Flick, what was the best part about Romeo's Pizza? Because I don't think I have it.
I'm gonna lose 116 to 90 as we're looking at the 0-2 for Justin Turner.
Yeah, same thing.
And now here's the pitch. And here's a fly ball to right field. Actually, it's just the fly ball base hit. More of like a liner. And Justin Turner gets on base as he leads off with a base hit.
Nice little soft single to right field, man.
That's what we needed.
Yeah, like I never had Sahara either. I think you were talking about Sahara before.
I love Sahara. Gourmet pizza, baby. Same with Zeke's. Zeke's does really well with their gourmet.
Oh, you know what? The Seattle pizza place.
I wouldn't know.
Pizzeria Pagliacci. Pretty good. Yeah.
As here is Jorge Polanco.
Home style pizza. Like, what do you mean by home style pizza?
The pitch. And now it's a foul ball by Jorge Polanco. Although that Polanco has been playing terribly this season, he does somewhat make up for the fact that he does hit well against the Houston Astros. He's around a 300 hitter against the Astros this season. So there is a positive side to it, but I don't think it's enough to keep him after this season.
Well, you know, he's also swinging from the right side. His more of his
0-1, and that is going to be an 0-2, and he really swung at that one badly.
Sounds pretty good, man. Homemade crust, lots of cheese and toppings. Yeah,
anything homemade is good.
I'm a big sauce guy. I don't like. I'm not a fan of like really salty pizza sauces. I think it just
0-2. Wow, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Jorge Polanco just chased that one badly. And now we've got one out. It's like, what's this offense doing? Like, the way they're playing right now, they're playing as if they have a 10-0 lead, which is clearly not the case.
They're playing like they got a 10-game lead in the division, and the playoffs are just a formality.
Now the pitch. Just like what Scott Service did. Like, remember, he does all that load managing crap. And he's like, oh, but we got to wait for the playoffs. What playoffs? The playoffs that you haven't clinched yet?
Yeah, load management, man.
Load management goes way too far. Like the LA Clippers, when they did their load management in the NBA, they took it way too far. And then here's line drive base hit. And now that's going to go into Justin Turner going to second base. A nice little jammed up to center field.
By the way, I like how they came up with a way of describing tanking, because back in the day, we just say a team is tanking. Now it's load management.
Yeah, and load management isn't really aging well, because when you look at the Clippers, as much as they were load managing, their key players still got hurt. And I think it has something to do with their bodies are just not conditioned to play 82 games, because now you're just not letting them play, so their body is losing its momentum.
Very well could be, man. I can't think of the last time a team tanked for a top pick and it worked out. The karma worked out right. Maybe the Cavaliers with LeBron, but they were already a bad team anyway.
They were bad, so they're not tanking. Who tanked? San Antonio. They went out. They kind of shut down David Robinson. Like, I don't think he was really that.
For Tim Duncan. Yeah, for Tim Duncan. Yeah.
I think that was a tank.
What about the Houston Texans for C.J. Stroud? Did they tank or were they bad?
They tanked.
Okay.
They had a plan in place.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. Like, they unloaded everything after that Watson deal. Which, by the way, the Browns made a huge mistake going for Watson. As a Browns fan, as a second team, I was against that trade.
I'm a Browns guy too, and it was disrespectful because Baker took him to the playoffs, and then the next year he was playing hurt. He was playing with a separated shoulder,
and they had Case Keenum, and he would have effectively led that team as much as like Flacco did.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, man. But that's the thing, man. Baker Mayfield's a warrior, man, and he went out there playing hurt. It didn't work out. Not to mention that Cleveland's offensive line wasn't that great that year. He got hit a lot, and you blame Baker Mayfield for that, and so you ship him.
Like, no,
right? It's like what Jacksonville did with Gardner Minshew. Gardner had a phenomenal rookie season, and then the next year you get rid of all his weapons. And he's playing behind a terrible offensive line. And of course, he's not going to be able to go above that. And so you blame Gardner Minshew, and then you trade him because you want to take
Trevor Lawrence.
It's like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, maybe the Dallas Cowboys, not sure if it was legit tank, but I think they only won a single game. Oh, yeah, when they traded, what's his ass to the Vikings?
Herschel Walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a tank, and it worked out.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a legit tank because that was not a good Cowboys team. Regardless,
but boy, did they unload!
Oh yeah,
that was Troy Aikman's.
That was
Troy Aikman got a rude awakening for his career on that one.
Right, but that was a bad Cowboys team, but that was a hell of a trade. Where if Minnesota was not expecting the Cowboys to cut all those players in return and turn them into draft picks. That was like
the Seahawks. Wasn't the Seahawks trade with Russell Wilson? Wasn't that kind of similar? That was kind of a Herschel Walker 2.0.
Well, what was
the pitch?
What did the Seahawks do to turn that into draft picks? I can't remember.
I don't think they. No, I think they were just straight up draft picks given.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it worked out for Seattle, but it certainly did not work out for Russell Wilson.
Not for the funny thing was I was actually okay with the trade even at the time. Like, I was shocked and crushed by it, but I was like, you know what, maybe it was time to move on. And the thing I was cheering for, as Dylan Moore has a 3-0 count, I was cheering for the tank. I wanted the tank because I thought Geno Smith was the perfect. Nope, did not happen. He actually led the team to the playoffs.
I still think Geno Smith is Tavares Jackson 2.0.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
With a better team.
You're not going to win with
Geno Smith. No, like, it's Metcalf and Lockett that are making him look good.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
No, he's got a ceiling, and on the high side, can you get to the playoffs? Sure, because it happened. But are you going
Super Bowl?
No.
Is he a great back? Can he be a great backup? Oh yeah, if you need a plug and play situation, sure.
I wanted them to tank last year so they can get Bo Nix.
I wanted Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix would have flourished under with that team.
Yeah,
but we were close to getting Bo Nix, or we were close to being the position, but then Denver just.
I would have loved for them to trade up to get that spot to get Bo Nix. Imagine Bo Nix this year.
With DK and Tyler Lockett.
DK. Yeah. And
crazy thing about Tyler Lockett, he's a small dude, but he has longevity. And notice that he doesn't take hits that much.
What was it? Jackson Smith and Jigba? Is that his name?
Yeah, he's got talent, the 0-2. And that is going to be... And by the way, we've been so distracted that it's the bases loaded, by the way. So this really is the opportunity for the Mariners to really get this right. And so we got to focus on this one. We got a 1-2. Maybe we should just keep talking about football. Maybe that's the reverse jinx right there. And the
That's a
1-2.
good, by the way, that was a good no swing right there. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I actually just don't believe in Gino's decision making.
No, like you can blame the offensive line all he wants, but then if you notice in that game against Miami, he did like make adjustments, like getting rid of the ball quick. That's what he did, but he doesn't do that often. The 1-2 and foul ball.
Nah, I just think that yeah. I mean,
Gino's
good
not
for
the
him 'cause
guy.
good for Gino though, because he was a career backup and it was looking like strike three. It was a
Foul ball.
what's that?
And
Foul
we're
ball?
looking at a 1-2. And
Yeah,
here
'cause, I
is
mean-
going to be the pitch. And here it is. And that's going to be popped up. And I don't think that's going to be enough to. Nope, that is clearly not enough to score anyone. And he makes the catch. And Justin Turner has to stay. Like, I don't even think Julio even runs
Yeah.
for that.
Popped
Not even
straight out,
Ichiro.
yeah. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, shallow center field. Yeah, no, that's not gonna
Way
score.
too shallow.
The thing about it is, it's like I'm happy because Gino was a career back after his Jets career ended. He was a career backup, and he paid he waited it out, man. Paid his dues, and he was able to get back to being a starting quarterback in the league. It rarely happens.
It is a good
rarely
comeback
happens.
story. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
it's
And the
good
pitch to
comeback.
Julio and a really terrible swing by Julio. And Mariners are really, literally
Yeah.
just handing the game back to Houston. It's almost like I think both teams are going out of their way to help each other.
Julio, come on, bud.
Can't do that. Like Lou Piniella would
No.
not allow that. And now here's
It's like-
the 0-1 and a
it's like you're
swing
not-
and a miss again.
You're not going to get fastball to start the count. You're going to get slider, and it's like, dude.
And this is,
You gotta-
it's almost like you wish you have Hunter Brown back in this game at this point, because at least he was just throwing fastballs.
Julio.
And now the crowd is up on their feet. They are wanting to get out of this inning, and they very much can. We're looking at the 0-2, not even checking the scoreboard because I don't like spoilers. And now we're looking at the 0-2. And now here is the pitch. And now here's a liner, and that is going to be a base hit. A run is at least going to score. And here's another run coming back in the throw to third. And that's going to be in time for Dylan Moore. But the good news is the Mariners, do they get that third run?
Julio.
Do they get that third run? Because I think
Did
JP
it
wasn't
score-
there in time.
Did it score first?
It did score. No, you get that score for sure.
I'm talking about.
And then Dylan-
I'm talking about like, did the run score?
Oh, I think there could be a review. No, I think the umpire's saying no because JP Crawford did not score in time.
But they get the insurance run. Yeah. By the way, that's still awfully sad that you have the bases loaded and you can only get one. But I'll take the one.
We'll take the one.
Gino has a tendency to stare down his target, and when pressure, he tends to make bad decisions. 100%.
Well, you know what time it is. It's bottom of the 7th inning, so flick of the switch, hit that mute button. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So
Let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they can't afford to lose at all. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old
baseball. That's
woo. And flick of the switch says make it stop, which we do. And okay,
If they don't
you have
win,
that
it's the
time.
same. Iron Beard. If they don't win, it's the same. Yeah, I just think the Seahawks should like that was like last year was the year to put themselves in a position to get a quarterback this year, and they went out to a solid mediocre. They went out and performed their solid mediocre finish to put themselves in a position where couldn't draft a quarterback.
I just cannot. I mean,
was
Gino
hoping
did great things, but
I was hoping that John Schneider would welcome his new coach with a brand new shiny quarterback. I was actually kind of hoping that if they did draft a quarterback, they'd go out and get Gardner Minshew.
I wanted Gardner Minshew after 22 season.
Yeah, I did too. Bring
As
him in
Bryce
and let
Miller-
him compete, man.
Bryce Miller is actually still in this game, and here is the pitch, and
I think
that's
he's
going to be
got-
low for the ball.
Yeah, he's got 69 pitches. Yeah.
I wonder if, well, first we're just going to take it one inning at a time, but if he can really get it going, if he really does well, like pitching as exactly the way he has been before since the third inning, who knows how much more he can do, as we're looking at a 2-0 and looks like,
Yeah.
I think if it's a 3-0 count, I think there is something wrong right now at this point.
I don't, I'm not a believer in Michael Penix in the NFL. I didn't. Be a good pro.
He had an amazing offensive line and weapons, and the 2-0,
Oh, yeah.
and that is a strike right down the middle, and I must say, Bryce Miller dodged the bullet because as Bregman swung at that one, kaboom, that's gone, baby. And now we're looking at the 2-1 for Alex Bregman. And now here is the pitch, and that is popped up and fouled.
Oh, boom.
We're looking at a 2-2 for Alex Bregman. I wouldn't have taken Michael Penix personally either. And now we're looking at 2-2. I said it again. And the 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball, 3-2. And I think if the walking happens, I would wonder if there's going to be activity in the bullpen. And I think there really should be activity in the bullpen at this point, because in case Bryce Miller is losing his stroke, maybe you have to get something in the bullpen going. Now here's the 3-2, and that is a foul ball, fouled back. As we are looking at full count, 3-2.
Who is the quarterback with who just got benched with the Panthers? Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, I was actually
3-2.
I was actually reading that the Seahawks might be interested in trading for Bryce Young.
I heard about that too. I mean, do you think it is? That's the interesting thing, though. Andy Dalton was able to lead a team to a victory, but
Right.
Bryce Young is like a nothing.
The thing about it is, it's like Bryce needs to be in a situation where there's a heavy running.
3-2. And that is ball 4, take your base. And usually the umpire would have given leeway on that, but now you've got Bregman on first base, and this is where you're going to get nervous. And I wonder if there's any activity in the bullpen right now. And this is where I'm getting nervous. I mean, it took 7 pitches to walk a guy, and now you still have no outs. Now you're creeping in the 80.
If you're Dan Wilson, you have somebody up in the bullpen right now, just in case.
And hopefully it's at least a Colin Snyder or Troy Taylor. And now the pitch up high for a ball. And I think if he walks one more, I think Dan Wilson should pull out. I mean, was even thinking about maybe pulling him out now. But then again, if Scott Service did that, then I would have railed on him. But it's not looking good. And now we're looking at the 1-0.
Is Byron Murphy the
pitch.
Vikings quarterback? I think. I don't really
know. No, that was JJ McCarthy of Michigan.
Right.
Sam Darnold's with the Vikings.
But yeah, Flick the Switch said the name Byron Murphy, and I thought he was I think he's a Viking, right?
No, not sure. We're looking at the 1-1.
Hard to say with
swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with that Sam Darnold has been Sam Darnold stepping in and getting a win has anything to do with Bryce. I just don't think he's a volume passer. It's like the Russell Wilson thing, right? Russ is not a volume passer, never was.
He's not. The 1-2. Here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit, and you're going to see Bregman going to second base, and with nobody out, you kind of figured that this was going to happen.
Fastball. I see. Was our first round defensive lineman. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like what made Russ so great was Pete Carroll's ability to run the ball 20 times a game with Marshawn, and when they kept Russell Wilson right at that 30 pass mark, between 25 and 30 passes, so they're very balanced. And then the run pass, the RPOs. In a situation with Bryce, I would think that would be a good system for him. Under Mike McDonald, where you keep his passes right at that 25 to 30 mark and run the ball, I think that could work.
I just wonder how much the Seahawks would have to give up, but I think we've got to stay focused on this game because, oh my God, Houston has an opportunity to take the lead, actually, and they actually can with one swing at a bat, and it looks like they finally figured out Bryce Miller at this point, which is really tragic because before, when he was at 70 pitches, like, he was doing just fine, and now it seems that maybe this could be his expiration.
Maybe.
Now here's the pitch, and that is a strike.
Yeah, you better have somebody warming up in the bullpen right now.
They have Troy Taylor in the bullpen.
Yeah, so I still like the move. He was only at 69 pitches to start this inning.
Yeah, you had to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
the 0-1. Oh, and that almost hit him. Yeah, you had to do it because, I mean, at this point, this is all on Bryce Miller.
Yeah, for sure.
And even if Scott Service, I'd be like, yes, Bryce Miller, you do it.
Yeah, and I like I like that Dan Wilson is not afraid to send it back out there. But you're absolutely right. I think I'm 100% with you on this one. It's Bryce's. This is on Bryce. Now he can't throw a strike.
Yeah, these strikes are gone, and now if you walk again, now you have the bases loaded, and a double play would really be nice on this situation. It really would. As we're looking at the 2-1 count on John Singleton. And now here's the pitch. And now here is a ground ball, and that could be throw to first, and that is in time. And with Bryce Miller was kind of indecisive at that moment. He thought he had a play at third base, but in hindsight, maybe he should have thrown to second base. But that's a crapshoot. When you're a pitcher, it's kind of tough to get a double play out of it. And I get it, because when I was a pitcher in softball, even when the ball comes to me, it's really tough to get that angle to second base.
Yeah, and you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything like make any errors at this point. He did the right thing. He was looking for the lead runner, but then he went and took the out at first, which is what you're supposed to do. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're going to underthrow or overthrow the third baseman. So yeah, take the out, and
take the free out if you can.
Yep.
And we're looking at a strike for Victor Caratini, and I guess that he's not going to intentionally walk, even though I would be a proponent of that, because even the guys after that are, well, then you don't want to give Jeremy Pena the bat. That's probably what it is. And we're looking at the 0-1 and the pitch.
He said, come on, softball, really?
Of course, Flick of the Switch says that.
He's taking you to task.
He always does. That's what he does. It's his thing. As we're looking at the 1-1, and I really am sweating. It's making me hungry, too, in a bad way. And here's the 1-1, and a swing and a miss, strike two, and that's what you like to see. 1-2 count. But it's safe to say after this inning, even if Bryce Miller gets out of it, this is definitely going to be his last inning. It has to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It has to. But, you're sweating Victor Caratini.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Mariners. Remember, they give up home runs to a bunch of bums? And the 1-2, and that is low for a ball. He tried to get him to swing at that one, but it was too obvious. As we're looking at the 2-2. Right now, Astros are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They are clearly threatening. Victor Caratini can be the hero.
Look at the switch. I'm so sweaty. Someone got a sandwich.
And now we're looking at the 2-2. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball foul. And that one, if that went anywhere near, that could have been easily 2 runs in there with an extra base hit, but it did not happen. Bryce Miller is now crossed at 90 pitches. And again, even if Bryce Miller gets out of it, I think that's it. Then you got to let the bullpen take care of it. Especially when you have...
here's the thing, right? If he
2-2 pitch. And now here's a ground ball foul.
If he gets Caratini out here, I'd still make the switch. I'd make the switch.
You'd make the switch. You would say, let Troy Taylor finish the job?
Yeah.
With Jeremy Pena, maybe that could be ideal.
Yeah.
Because that'll make Jeremy Pena be like, oh, wait, who's Troy Taylor?
Right. I would just do it.
2-2.
Because, at this stage, you've seen
Bryce enough.
Yeah, you've seen Bryce enough, and it would be what, righty. So.
Oh, now we're talking to Scott Service, righty, baby.
I'd rather take my chances with the bullpen to get the final out. There's no.
Yeah, it seems Bryce Miller's he's already been cooked.
Yeah.
As we're looking at 2-2 for Victor Caratini.
Victor Caratini, yeah, he's at 92 right now. I would come and get him. Going 6 2/3.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there he goes. And let's see, we'll find out and see if Dan Wilson is going to take him out to get Troy Taylor. And I think that is because you see a little bit of you see Bryce Miller just standing there.
Yeah, that was a big out right there. That was
huge. And he didn't throw a fastball on that one too.
Yeah, it was a nice split.
And I think this could be it because Bryce Miller is looking in that direction. Cal Raleigh's going up to him, and I think this could be it.
Yeah. It makes sense to pull him right now.
And now here is Dan Wilson. I wonder what I think Cal Raleigh's just having a chat with him. I don't think they're going to do it.
I don't know, because Cal just patted him on the shoulder like it was like it was a good outing. I guess not. I guess he's I guess. Yeah,
and especially against Jeremy Pena. And Jeremy Pena has been known to dice up on the Mariners quite a bit, like he did in the 2022 American League Division Series in the 18th, 19th inning.
Yeah, Bryce looks a little taxed, man. He looks like he's sweating a little.
Yeah,
I think Cal was going out there to give him a sandwich.
Yeah, remember what we saw. Dan Wilson, he does the same thing too, rile them up. And now here is Jeremy Pena.
I like it. And if he can get out of this, man, that's going to be a huge boost for Bryce.
It would be. And he does go around that.
Battle out of it.
Got to battle out of it, I guess. But, if it was Scott Service, he would have pulled him out. I think what would have happened, I think Scott Service would have pulled Bryce Miller out after the first walk. I think that's what it would have been.
Yeah, maybe.
And now we're looking at the 0-1 for Jeremy Pena, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and he drops him on the splitter.
Yeah. He went around on the first one, tried to check his swing, and now you get the split down in the dirt. So now you're 0-2. So it's either going to be split down in the dirt or it's going to be fastball up and in.
I want fastball in the inside, just like everyone else would. And now here is the 0-2.
0-2 on the
and here it is. And that is a fly ball. And could that be playable for Luke Raley? And that is out of play. I did like that idea. Like Cal Raleigh was trying to like jump him out.
It looked like it was
because I didn't think necessarily you had to pitch a strike. I think I was okay if it was a ball. I actually would have been okay with that.
Yeah, because he's trying to induce a swing and a miss at this point, right? So
that's what he's trying to do.
Trying to go slider low and away, although it stayed up a little.
As we're looking at the 0-2 for Bryce Miller. Trying to get out of this jam, and here's the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And what a strikeout by Bryce Miller. He gets out of this jam. Beautiful jam. And look at those fans in the stands. That's going to retire the side. And we go to the top of the 8th. Still 2-0.
Oh, Bryce worked out of it, man. What a beautiful Bryce.
Bryce Miller got out of a huge jam, and we can agree to say that it was a very gutsy call of Dan Wilson to let Bryce Miller finish the job.
He still has one of the worst mustaches I've ever seen.
I wonder who would have the worst mustache in baseball. Gardner Minshew has the best mustache in football.
I'll say this, man. Paul Skeens has got a pretty terrible mustache. That's pretty bad.
Fair.
So Marshawn Lynch and the receiving corps made Russell Wilson. Wilson. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't want to take anything away from Russ. He was pretty goddamn amazing. He made some plays, right? But Pete Carroll had him dialed in, 100%.
About Russell Wilson?
Yeah, he had him dialed.
Yeah, and then Russell Wilson tried to do the let Russell cook thing, and that didn't really work.
Well, right, because he saw his buddy Patty Mahomes just tear it up in Kansas City and get to Super Bowls, and he got jealous. He wanted to be that guy, and Pete was like, "That's not you, man. Be Russell Wilson."
Well, to be fair, I wanted him to cook too, so I'm guilty of that. So I was one of the let Russ cook people too.
Nah, I wasn't, because he, from his rookie year, he just never was a volume passer. And whenever he got over 45 throws, he started making mistakes. That's what happens when you leave your starter in. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes they get blown up.
Yeah, and just like the Brian Wu situation, maybe there was a situation where after they gave up the first run, maybe that's where Dan Wilson should have pulled out Brian Wu, because the Texas Rangers were figuring him out. And that's why, and yes, that 3-run home run was kind of like, it seemed fluky, but still, when you give up one run, it's kind of like, maybe you mix it up a little bit.
Well, the crazy thing is that, I like Dan Wilson because he's testing his young starters, right? And that's what you do. Like, when you're in a jam, you want to see those guys work through jams. And by the way, I saw somebody on Twitter say that now sign Trevor Bauer and played Kid Rock instead of Macklemore. Somebody on Twitter said that. Because
Macklemore he's now in his mess of controversy right now, because he said
so Aaron Levine tweeted something about it, didn't give any context.
What exactly did he say?
Good question.
Oh, and a ground ball base hit, and Cal Raleigh gets on base, hoping to add more to that insurance run that he needs to do.
Aaron Levine, let's see.
Aaron Levine is quite a guy, too. He's a very passionate guy. I do like his work.
So
I met the guy. He's a cool guy.
Is it very relevant question to ask the Mariners how they feel about playing a song from an artist that said F America just minutes after playing God Bless America in the 7th inning of a Sunday home game, or playing that artist's music at all? And I think somebody on this, let me pull it up.
You know what was the funny thing? Remember the whole head tax controversy stuff in the 1-1? That is a foul ball. But you remember the head tax controversy that was spearheaded by Thomas Sawan?
So somebody said, why does no one talk about this, include the context that he was speaking about America providing bombs to be dropped on Gaza, and instead act like he was saying he wants our country destroyed? I have no idea what he said.
That's why you can't.
That's to me. You see that to me is what I didn't appreciate about his tweets, because it made it seem like he was just saying F America without any context. This is what I don't like about the media today, is that was, to me, that's trolling. You know what I mean? Like, you're out there doing that to get a reaction without adding any context.
2-2. Ground ball, and that is going to be a throw to first. Oh, and that's going to be an infield base hit. So you're knocking on Aaron Levine.
Yeah.
Usually
I'll say this. So for me, I don't like Macklemore being played at the stadium regardless, because
he took away Louie.
I'm a Louie purist, right? So that's what I like, right? But that being said, we also live in a time where music artists are political, like full political.
Yeah, that's why I don't like almost any of them. All of them are. Yeah. So now here on attempt, and that goes to the third base line. Barehanded throw to first, and not in time. And now we have the bases loaded with nobody out. And let's keep talking about Aaron Levine. This is working. And I jinxed that too.
I'm just like, listen, man, you gotta add context, and make sure you tell the story straight, and not make Macklemore out to be some America hating whatever. And by the way, it's like the only people that respond to it are just crazy people to begin with, anyways. But yeah, somebody in that somebody in that Twitter thread also said sign Trevor Bauer and play Kid Rock. Number one, I wanted the Mariners to sign Trevor Bauer in spring training because he's an awesome pitcher.
And he's cheap.
But Kid Rock, how about Louis?
And how about no more R&B at a baseball game? It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Unless
like
unless you're playing
Miley Cyrus Party in the USA. Let's go.
at a baseball game, hell no. At least the Aqua Sox keep it level. Maybe they will play those once in a while, but they'll still try to keep up the baseball spirit.
And the Britney song comes on, and the Britney song comes on, so we put our hands up.
Like the only R&B song that makes sense is Griffey's walk-up music.
Oh, hip-hop
Naughty by
radio.
Nature. Yeah, that's the only song that works at a baseball game, the 1-0.
Yeah,
And that's going to be a 2-0.
I never understood why they started playing Macklemore tunes after the 7th inning stretch, unless Macklemore is now like a minority owner. That makes sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is, because I know he's a minority owner with the Sounders.
Let me see if he is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he is. Own a small percentage in ownership.
He does not, but he's a minority owner of the Kraken.
Yeah,
And now he's ground ball foul.
And he's also a minority owner with the Sounders as well too. I like you too, Jared. I don't know who you are, but I like you too, bud.
Yeah, I like all the fans I've had in here. They've all been good to me. As we're looking at the 2-2.
Yeah,
pitch.
there's no reason to play pop. Yeah, like dude,
Not
like,
at a baseball game.
Yeah, dude, I'm a Louis purist, so that has to be after the 7th inning stretch. But those that are making a mountain out of a molehill, they're just, they live in an echo chamber anyway. So
The 2-2. And now here is a fly ball to center field. This should score in a run. Tagging at third is Cal Raleigh, and he's going to score, and that's going to make it a 3-0 game for the Mariners. Randy Arozarena to third.
but also, Jared, understand context of where T-Mobile Park is located. It's in what city? Seattle, Washington. And Seattle, Washington is the epicenter for Northwest progressive issues. And so it's not 10% of their fan base, it's more like 80% of their fan base now.
Yeah, we're the less than 10%, which is why people like us end up resorting to a minor league baseball game, because that's where the baseball spirit really feels. Like, there is a reason why I've only gone to one Mariners game this season. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. You go woke, or you go DEI, and you go broke, man. It just is.
And then here's a line drive base hit, and that is going to score in another run to make it 4-0. And thanks to you saying the W word, I cannot use that for a short.
Yeah, man. No, it's just it's ridiculous. This is sports and entertainment, right? The key word is entertainment, right? So the reality is like when I watch sports, I'm doing it to get away from.
And that's what my channel is about. And maybe sure I talk about it once in a while, but I don't spill all of my beans about it.
I watch sports to be entertained, and I don't want to hear about political views from athletes. I think there's a time and there's a place for everything. And I just, between the lines, I just want to be entertained.
It's one of
the things that I don't like about soccer.
And that is going to be caught by Jeremy Pena. 2 outs, and good to see a 4-0 lead so far for the Mariners. And and I have seen it from some of the Mariner content creators of the community. One of them, I'm not going to say who the name is, but one of them is very.
Say it. Name the channel. Don't say the guy, but name the channel.
Raise the Trident.
Okay. I don't.
Very political.
I have never seen their content, so that's
at least maybe not so much on YouTube, but on his social media, absolutely.
Yeah, and that is pandering to that wing of the fan base, and so I'm sure he gets a lot of traffic. It's one of the things that I don't like,
but he is still struggling. I mean, not that I want to downplay him. He has been struggling. Not saying I'm wishing bad on anything. It's just that, okay, here's my thing. So I know I already said this, but he has all the networking. He has close ties with like the Mojo, I guess the Marine Layer, and even Locked On Mariners. And he has like 500. And me, I started from ground zero. Like we're talking ground the freak zero. No network. The only networking I really had was like you and Jay Trident podcast. And
Yeah,
my subscriber count is almost 4 times that of what he has. Not saying I'm better than him or anything.
No. I mean, but that's the thing is I started the soccer YouTube channel from scratch, and you network within that community, and those numbers go up. But the thing about it is, it's like it's one of the things I don't like about it. It's for whatever reason, it's highly political, and I just was like, there's a reason why I don't join supporters groups, because it's just not me. But when you're at a Sounders match, you see the guys flying, the 3 arrows flags, or you see the trans flags being waved, and I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. It's just utterly ridiculous.
And even if it was on the other side, we'd probably be like, nah, keep that at home, boy.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to any sporting event and be bombarded with crazy ideology. It's sports.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why I canceled my season tickets from the Storm, and I stopped going for about a few years. And then once they finally quieted it down because they realized, like, oh crap, we actually have to try to bring in fans. Then I finally went.
Well, because listen, I mean, you can't pander and expect everybody to be like, yeah, you're so woke and inclusive. It's like it's sports. It's sports.
The only people I pander to in my channel are people that want to have an opinion of whatever, which is not exactly popular. I'll pander to that, but basically I'm saying, hey, if you want to, even if someone says they still miss Scott's service and they love him for whatever, you know what? I'll be like, explain why. Tell me exactly why, and I won't. And even then, I won't block you.
See, I like this Jared guy. He said he went to a game in KC and Cincinnati, and it was absolutely refreshing to be around traditional baseball. Yeah, that's out here in Detroit as well too.
By the way, Jared, I apologize to you, but I had to delete the comment because I don't want it on record. But I don't blame you.
The comment of
the YouTube channel's name.
Oh yeah.
I had to do it.
Raise the Trident is guilty of being white. That's funny.
I didn't hear that.
It's funny. He's right though.
Then I'm guilty of. Oh, Ironbeard misses the Kingdom. Who doesn't? That place had theater to it.
You know what I loved about the Kingdom? The crappy King Dogs. They had the King Dog that you can get for $3, but it didn't matter what level you were on, whether it was the 100 level or whether it was 2 or the 300 level. If you were on the concourses getting food, the Kingdom always reeked like piss. I miss that.
So it was an equal opportunity stadium in some ways.
Oh, dude. But you know what, though? That's the thing. It's like I remember the first time I went to the Kingdom, and you're on the concourses, and I love the look on the Kingdom from the outside with the wavy, the waves of the outside concourses. But it also had, it had appeal. It had that was our dome, right? And when you walked into the concourses to the field and you walk into it, I mean, it was ugly as hell, but in its simplicity, I love watching Mariner baseball at the Kingdom. Plus it was the Homer Dome, man. Would you
rather watch? Did you enjoy more games at the Kingdom or at T-Mobile Park throughout the years? I think if I was old enough, I would have enjoyed the Kingdom.
Kingdom. Because you know what? The Mariners were so good in the Kingdom. What I loved about it was Woody Woodward built a team specifically for the 81 home games, for the 81 games, the Dome. And they took full advantage. It's something that only Pat Gillick had managed to do with the Mariners when they moved to T-Mobile Park. Like only for 4 years have they built a team around their home park.
Yeah, and nobody else has. Yeah, you saw Jack Zarenzik going all about home runs.
Yeah.
Jerry DiPoto all about the home runs, 1-2. And now here's a
Yeah.
fly ball to right field, and that is gone. And Jason Hayward just hit a home run, and they get on the board to make it 4-1. And I'm telling you,
It's always Jason Hayward.
the 4-1 is not enough. I hate to say it, it's still not enough.
You know, Jared, I was at the one-game playoff against the Angels, and
Everybody scores.
I went to the Edgar game, Game 4, and I've been to a couple Seahawks games at the Dome. I had never heard the Kingdome as loud as that one-game playoff, and this was before the Luis Soho shot down the first base line. That place was rocking. That place was loud. Pat Gillick was
The
the best
pitch.
GM.
Swing and a
yes
miss,
no.
strike 2.
I think people don't give enough love to Woody Woodward, but yeah.
No, Woody Woodward does not get enough love. And even Lou Piniella admitted that Woody Woodward got chased out of the team in a really bad way.
You know what's funny is I remember when the Seahawks back in the 2000s where Lumen Field
0-2.
would get loud.
And it's a ball.
And
Yeah.
Like I remember like back in the 2000s when, you know, the Seahawks would get, the fans would get crazy loud at Lumen Field. And that was something to behold, but imagine that in the Kingdome.
The 1-2. And now here's a ground ball right to Polanco, throw to first. That is in time. No. Imagine that 2013 team.
Yeah, in the Kingdome.
Or imagine the Beastquake at the Kingdome. I think
for
Beastquake would have actually knocked down some roof tiles.
Yeah, you know, I skipped school for that one-game playoff. But Woody Woodward traded away Jason Varitek, Jose Cruz Jr., and Derek Lowe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wasn't perfect, but that being said, he also
I think he got the Randy Johnson trade. I think he did that Randy Johnson trade.
Yeah, he traded for Randy, traded for Buhner, also drafted Tino.
He drafted A-Rod, even though that
drafted A-Rod, drafted Junior. It's like, dude,
and now here's a fly ball to left center field, and that play is not going to be done. And Julio, he fails to make the catch. And now,
like, don't get me wrong, the Jason Varitek trade was bad, 100%. But that being said, the reality is, like, a lot of Mariner fans still bring up that trade. It's like Jason Varitek was never going to take game time away from Dan Wilson. He was blocked at the major league level, and that's why they traded him. Jason Varitek was never going to unseat Dan Wilson in Seattle.
Yeah, even Dan Wilson, at least for a couple of years, wouldn't have taken a backup role. He wouldn't have.
Yeah, no. It's like, like the one that actually really hurt was Derek Lowe. I didn't want to see Derek Lowe go, but it is what it is. And Jose Cruz Jr., who knows how that would have played.
That one was.
I remember
if we at least gotten Joe Carter out of that trade, which they almost did, they could have. Then it wouldn't have been as painful.
The ceiling tiles falling in '94. I remember that vividly because I had tickets to the game where they canceled because the ceiling tiles fell. But yeah, they were trying to play their games at Cheney Stadium, and Major League Baseball said no.
Which kind of speaks hypocrisy because now Oakland A's are going to be allowed to play at Sacramento Stadium. Pure hypocrisy, especially when stadium standards have gone way up.
Yeah, but back in the day though, Cheney was an armpit.
0-2.
I understand why they didn't do it though.
You know, I have a better experience at Everett Stadium than Cheney Stadium easily.
I love Cheney Stadium. Cheney is such a good ballpark, man.
The parking's nice.
Even before the remodel, Cheney Stadium was awesome because, you know, like if you wanted
1-2. 2-2.
Like if you were an autograph chaser and you wanted to catch the Mariners' top prospects at Cheney, all you had to do was sit out by your car because the home clubhouse emptied into the parking lot. And I remember going down there to get Felix's autograph when he was in the minors. I got who else did I get down there? A-Rod back in the day, yeah. And they were awesome. They were all awesome, man. You know, they're still minor leaguers. What's his bucket? Freddie Garcia. Yeah, for sure, man.
2-2 pitch.
Cheney
and Troy Taylor is struggling this inning, and I wonder if he walks another guy. I wonder if Dan Wilson's going to pull him out. And I mean, don't get me wrong, this was the correct decision. It's just these relief pitchers are just not performing to their level. They're just not. Like, it's just
I
gone.
remember when the Mariners rolled through Detroit in August. We were sitting right on top of the Mariners.
Now here's a ground ball, could be double play ball, throw to second, and no play at first base.
Excuse me. We were sitting right on top of the Mariner bullpen, and I remember Troy Taylor came out, and he's like, dude, he's small. He's like 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". He's a dinky dude, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Tacoma Tigers, man. Yeah, dude. Oakland's AAA affiliate back in the day was the Tacoma Tigers. And
Really? So we could have seen Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire just an hour away from Seattle.
They played in Tacoma.
Yeah,
dude. I remember being.
Then who was the AAA? Who was the AAA team for the Mariners then?
The Calgary Cannons. Yeah.
So
forever.
back in the 80s, while Mariner fans were depressed about the Mariners, they could have at least drove an hour south to watch Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire at the.
Yeah, well, what was great about it, because back in the day, Sandy Alderson, who was the GM for the A's,
great GM.
Yeah, he would keep
ground ball right to third, and the throw to first by Rojas, and in time, beautiful play. And that's going to retire the side, as Troy Taylor did give up that one run, but he did get out of it. That probably means Munoz is probably maybe going to be the closer, or maybe Colin Snyder. We're going into the top of the ninth, and Steve Silver, do you got to go? Because it is 7:30.
I'll stick around.
Oh, you'll stick around. Got it.
We're in the ninth. Yeah, but Sandy Alderson would keep his top prospects for a full year in Tacoma before they called them up. He used to want to make sure that they were ready. And yeah, their AAA affiliate was in Tacoma. And I remember being 5, 6 years old. My dad took me to Cheney Stadium because we lived closer to Tacoma than Seattle. And I remember seeing Jose Canseco in a Tacoma uniform. It was great. I was a huge Canseco fan as a kid.
For Greg Paul, how many hits does Julio have today? He has 2. He's 2 for 4. He had an RBI. Jared, Tacoma wasn't. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Calgary Cannons ended up folding because nobody cares about baseball in Calgary. So
yeah, they're all hockey. The Calgary Flames, fool.
They're also into rodeo up there. Calgary's a huge rodeo town.
I guess so.
Huge rodeo town.
Just like Pendleton, Oregon.
I remember having baseball cards, man, of Tino Martinez and Omar Vizquel and Edgar Martinez wearing their Calgary Cannons uniform. I
can't believe we had Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco literally in our backyard.
Yep.
That must be awkward, too. But Mariner fans didn't care enough back then because baseball was just so dead back then. Like, the only thing you were clinging on to in the 80s was Alvin Davis, Harold Reynolds. And that's the thing I want to do. Like, once my channel, like, gets much bigger and has more subscribers and more audience, then I want to tap into, like, Mariners history of the 80s. But right now, I don't want to do it right now because I just don't think, one, I don't think there's demand for it, and two, I don't have the brand to push something out like that yet.
Right.
I just don't think it's there. Like, Mariners Mojo, if they wanted to do nostalgics, they can put out whatever they want. They literally can. Couch GM can because he has a pretty big base. I mean, he got freaking Jamie Moyer. And here's the pitch to Robles, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Jared, you are correct. That's when they went 83 and 79 in 1991 under Jim Lefebvre. And now here's a ground line drive base hit. Lefebvre, and that is going to be a double for Victor Robles. And Victor Robles continues to contribute for the Mariners. Yeah, Mariners were pretty bad. Mariners had a blue chip shortstop named Andy Sheets, but of course he was behind A-Rod. Well, yeah. I think Carlos Guillen back then, I think he was supposed to be the third baseman of the future or maybe second base of the future if Russ Davis wasn't going to last, which he didn't. And now here is Julio Rodriguez up to the plate. And now the throw to second, and not in time. By the way, did you hear that David Bell just got fired by the Reds?
Yes. Yeah. And
Would
people
do
wondering
you think
if he
should
would
the
join Dan
Mariners take
Wilson's
a look
staff.
at him like as a bench coach? I would. Him and David Bell know each other, at least with Dan Wilson. As Julio takes it for a ball. He is 2 for 4 with a stolen base and an RBI. Yep, that is correct, Jared. You know your history as much as I do. The pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left field. Is that going to be enough? And that is that gone? Is that a home run or is that going to be a ground rule double? That's at least going to score in Victor Robles. Yep, they're going to call it a ground rule double, and Julio Rodriguez gets an RBI double to make it 5-1, and the Mariners has smoothly steamrolled through this game. How about that? Julio Rodriguez is now going to be 3 for 5 because of that. And that literally just landed right into behind the fence by that Chevrolet logo. And now here is Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball. And hopefully the Mariners can hold up on a 5-1 lead. And I wonder how much the ante would be for the Mariners. Or if I were to put money on the Astros, which I'm kind of tempted to, it would be a plus 2,500. So let's say you put in $10 on there, you'll get $250, I think, or I don't know. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. As Cal Raleigh is trying to extend this inning with no outs so far, by the way, and the 0-2, and the ground ball foul. Good to see the Mariners in this lead very much.
Yep. Carlos Guillen did come over in the Randy Johnson deal. Yeah.
He was actually
Mariners,
one of the better.
Had
0-2. Here's a ground ball. That's going to at least move Julio to third base. Toss over the first in time. Julio at third base now.
Mariners had a blue chip shortstop named Andy Sheets. Yeah, I remember Andy Sheets. Good pull.
Carlos Guillen, if anyone remembers, his first at bat in a career with the Mariners was a home run. And then a few days later, he had to be shut down for the rest of the season due to injury. He had a nasty collision with someone from Oakland. The pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right center field, and it's still going, and that's going to drop in for a base hit, and that is going to score Julio Rodriguez, and Randy Arozarena adds more to the insurance runs to make it 6-1.
Yeah, Canseco was in Tacoma in 1985.
Randy Johnson in the 2001 team. Oh my God. But then you don't have Carlos Guillen and Freddie Garcia, but of course you want Randy Johnson anyway.
You want Randy Johnson, yeah. Just imagine had they just re-signed A-Rod. I would have been happy.
A good owner. Here's what I would have think. A good ownership group. I think they still would have lost Griffey, but they would have kept A-Rod and Randy easily. I think Griffey's still gone regardless of ownership.
Yeah, Griffey's gone regardless. There was some other shenanigans tied up with Junior. We're not going to talk about it live on air, but Junior will never. I'll never out Junior. You should get Brett Boone. Yeah,
I tried. I tried to get on the podcast. I really did. He just doesn't respond to a thing. Well, maybe you can maneuver that.
I wonder if I still got his number.
See if you can, but yeah, you have to show him how good my YouTube channel is. I mean, Jared, if you remember Jeff Facero, I got him on the show twice. He's the only. Yeah, why don't you try to talk into Brett Boone into my show someday, or at least your show, and have me tag along, or you have Brett's.
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
And now here is Justin Turner to the plate. And now here is a fly ball to center field. And he makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. But the good news is the Mariners get 2 more runs out of it. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is now 6-1 Mariners.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Brett's number.
Well, maybe you can get him on this show because I've wanted to get Brett Boone. Like I wanted to get Brett Boone I wanted him for like the trade deadline situations and like how the Mariners are doing kind of thing. Is Scott Service the right manager? Was Dan Wilson the right hire? There's a lot of reasons why I wanted Brett Boone on my show.
Sure. Brett's a good dude, man. And yeah, like Brett and I actually had I interviewed him in 2014, and I remember I was down in Oregon at my in-laws' house, and I actually ended up having a 3-hour conversation on the phone. And Brett's a really solid dude, and yeah, like he was the type of dude like when on the interview that I had him on. I think we had like, I don't know, like 3,000 live listeners when we did that. And Brett answered all the questions. I asked him, is there anything you don't want to talk about? We won't get to it. And he's like, no, man, we're all good. And so, you know,
another guy I also wanted was Mike Cameron.
Yeah. Mike Cameron's going to charge you money for an interview.
Tino is also, you can't really reach out to Tino either. He would definitely charge. I mean, he already does. He charges just to send a text message to him. And we are back from the break. And this is the last inning for the Mariners, and hopefully they can put this game to bed. So that way, if the Mariners win this game, if they win, they'll be 4 games back from Houston for the division, even though that seems to be out of reach at this point. But for the wild card, they'll be 1.5 games back from the division, or from the wild card. So let's finish this and put a dog out of it. And you know that it's a blowout game when Edward Bizardo is pitching, which, again, I don't think he should be the pitcher. And the pitch, and that is going to be a strike for Bizardo, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And after this game, we're going to have Ian is going to be joining for the post-game show. So stay tuned for the Ian, and I'll send him the invite. And the pitch, ground ball right to Rojas or Dylan Moore to throw to first in time. And we got 2 outs away from completing this game. 2 pitches in for Bizardo and already has 1 out. And now here is John Singleton up to the plate. And now we're looking at the pitch from Bizardo. And now here's the pitch. And that is going to be inside for a ball. You got a ball signed by Tino Martinez at Seafirst Bank in 95. And who does Seafirst own now? Well, and now here's a pop fly. And that's actually going to be playable for Dylan Moore. And he makes the catch. And that's going to be 2 outs. Seafirst Financial Services is still hanging around, surprisingly.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are they're a subsidiary to Seattle First National Bank. They were a parent of Bank of America from 1983 to 1999. Oh, they defunct in 1999. So they merged with Bank of America, no surprise. And the pitch, that's going to be low for a ball.
Yeah, dude. I know.
Bank of America is one crummy bank. I hate to say it, but they really are.
I think if I really wanted to, I probably could get a hold of Tino.
Tino would be big because I want to talk to him about that trade.
Yeah, like I would be curious to know, like, was there any talk about re-signing with the Mariners?
And how did you feel about it, kind of thing?
Or did you want to stay in Seattle? Or
did you just want to go to New York anyway? Because there are some things that need to be cleared up.
Did you want to stay in Seattle, or was the entire gig to play your 6 years and then leave?
We're looking at the 2-1. Now here's the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and this will do it. Here is Polanco to throw to first, and that is in time, and that is the end of this ball game, as the Mariners, even though there were some stressful moments, they did handle the Houston Astros to win this ball game. They take the first game of this 3-game series, and
Big
now
win.
they're 4 games back from the division. They do halt the Astros division championship at least, but more importantly, the Mariners are still alive in this wild card. Now they're 1.5 games
win.
back from the wild
Big win.
card. Big win. And what are your main takeaways from this game? As we're actually going to have Ian join us, and here we go. And Ian, welcome to the show. And let me fix my whole banner thing. There we go. Much better.
Hey, it's Ian.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well, man. How are you feeling?
Great. We got to win.
Are you in the dark?
I'm actually in Michigan.
Oh yeah, we're.
You guys should be hanging out.
Yeah, you said you were going to be in Michigan. Yeah, where are you at?
Yeah.
You in Detroit?
I'm up just a little bit north of Detroit. Closer to Flint.
Yeah, I live in Flint, bud.
Oh,
Dude, go out to a bar and get something.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you want to, I'll drop my contacts.
Yeah, do
what was I going to say? I took, my big takeaway was the fact that, I like seeing the Mariners play out on. I think that, they struggled to get on the board early, but, they were sitting there basically clinging into a 2-0 lead. When they really should have added more than the 1 run with the bases loaded, but fine. They add the extra run there. But I like seeing that late in the game, taking advantage of the Houston's bullpen and putting this game out of reach. That's what playoff teams do. In close decisive games, they figure out a way just to put the foot on their throats. And the Mariners did that tonight, and that was nice to see. The other thing that I was very happy to see was Bryce Miller coming out there for his last inning. Came in with 69 pitches into that inning. In the 7th right there. And, it's a gutsy call by Dan Wilson. You can understand why managers these days will yank him at that point, but, his pitch count was good, got into some trouble, got the leadoff walk, gave up the leadoff walk, and then a base hit. And now here Render's on first and second with nobody out, and he battles, man. And Bryce Miller battled his way out of that without giving up a run. And that was to me, that was the signature right there. That was a statement. A young pitcher needing to figure out how to battle out of a jam. Not a lot of young pitchers are equipped for that, and Bryce shut the door. That was impressive.
I will say that too. And I know most of the things he said was really about the Bryce Miller, but other things I liked about that, other than of course Bryce Miller getting out of trouble, but also watching Victor Robles continuing to contribute, and even Julio Rodriguez. It's almost like he has left it behind on his base running error against the Yankees, and it seems that he's putting the fans in a position to forget about it, at least for the time being. But he did put in some of those insurance runs, and he got 2 of those extra runs, which, by the way, one of them was with the bases loaded, and that was extremely needed because that gave the Mariners a 2-0 lead. It should have been 3, but unfortunate circumstances did happen where Dylan Moore was kind of greedy getting the third base, or unless someone was trying to go to second base for a double. But then also liked Julio Rodriguez adding it to it again with a ground rule double, and that's what I liked. And even Randy Arozarena, he contributed as well with an RBI to himself. So that's what I like to see is the offense. Some parts of the offense has really been continuing to contribute. And I would say Bryce Miller getting out of that inning with Jeremy Pena, but you've already said it, and that's what I'm going to say. And Ian, what were you saying? And before I get to Ian, the other thing I liked about Bryce Miller too was I liked his placement of his fastball. It didn't seem that he was doing it in the middle as much, even though he kind of did. But he also mixed up some pitches as well, because the beginning of the game, he was throwing nothing but fastballs. And I was thinking, man, there's got to be a home run out of the Astros. But it didn't happen. And when the home run happened, it wasn't even on his account.
Right.
And
I just, we're at that, we're at that spot now in the season where we have 5 games left. Every single game matters. This division, I guess technically it's still available. 4 games out with 5 to play, so Mariners would have to sweep the Astros and then hope the
Astros get swept.
Yeah, and then we sweep the A's to finish this thing out. But we're 2 games out in the wild card. I have no idea what the Tigers did tonight, but
Tigers didn't. No one played. None of the wild card rivals played today.
Right, so that means the Mariners pick up a game on the Tigers. So that race is still very fluid. We mentioned at the top of the game that even the smallest mistake could lead to a costly error that could that can end up swinging momentum and runs in the opposite direction. And today, credit the Mariners, man, they played well. I just think that it was kind of a statement win tonight. Now, granted, you look at the way the Mariners have been playing over the last week and a half. They've actually been playing good baseball. Yes, they've made some crucial errors, made some mental mistakes, but you know what though? Doesn't matter. Tonight was the only thing that mattered, and I liked Bryce Miller's performance. I like the bullpen's performance tonight as well too. The biggest thing is playing add-on, and this is something that this team is just for a long stretch of the season. This was something that this team was ill-equipped to be able to do, which is play add-on. So that to me was even. I thought to me that was even bigger than Bryce Miller's performance in the 7th. Being able to put this game out of reach and do it in a way where that little solo shot there from Jason Hayward ended up being insignificant. So I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, Ian.
Yeah, Ian. It's now your role. Your move.
I liked, again, as you guys said, add-on baseball. I've been waiting for it all year. Sucks that it waits till the last 5 games of the season for the Mariners to start doing it. I thought it was a complete game, which is something that we haven't seen a lot in Seattle. When your closer comes in and gets 3 outs, not the Munoz give up a run and then 3, it was straight 3 outs, and that's what I like to see. No hard hits, just get out of the inning. I think before getting into this game, I just like to touch the game we lost yesterday, the heartbreaker there at the end. It just, I don't know, for me, it just dictated the season. You would get a winning streak going, we'd blow 3 or 4 or 5, and I mean, it just derailed the momentum of the team. So, I mean, I'd love to say we could sweep it out, but I just know how we play in Oakland, and I know, or not in Oakland, but at home against Oakland. I just know how we play against Oakland. We sell down to them, and we normally lose. So, I mean, destiny's in our hands, but also for the wild card, it's not in our hands. It's all into the Tigers, the Royals, right there at the end. So we'll see. As far as the pitching performance, you said it. Bryce Miller took care of business. Bullpen had 1 bad hit given up all night, and we played out on baseball. I'd love to say that we could do this for the next 2 games, but we're inconsistent.
Yep, and before we get further about the next games to look forward to or to dread on, Flick of the Switch made a good joke. We sweep the Astros and then get swept by the A's. That would actually be the most Mariner thing to do if they actually did that. Now, going into the next... Yeah, you were saying?
Another shout out, just because you didn't have something yesterday. Cal Raleigh, 31 home runs. I just like to say, it's nice to know that we have one guy on the team that constantly is producing that kind of power and offense. What sucks is that the rest of the team couldn't hit all year. But I mean, that's the one bright spot I think throughout the years, seeing that he's consistently the last 3 years put up 30 home run campaigns, which is really, in my eyes, a big good thing, because I wasn't sure if he'd be able to replicate it every single year in, year out, and catch the amount of games he does behind the plate for us. So that was a big plus.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cal Raleigh, he's been having quite the season, with the exception of his awful batting average, unfortunately. But he has been one of our better offensive players for the season.
Yeah.
Now, going into the next game, it's not going to be any easier, because I thought Hunter Brown was going to be tough. But now you're going to be going up against Framber Valdez, easily their best pitcher on the team with a 14-7 record. Gilbert's 8-11 record with a 3.24 ERA. Valdez has a 2.85. So if the Mariners are going to get through Valdez, it is not going to be easy one bit. And if anyone put out your thoughts on what the Mariners should do in order to survive this game, the game tomorrow.
It's not like it's going to be impossible. It's not going to be impossible.
No, I mean,
we've had some success against Framber, and you know, and again, it's approaching this game with absolutely no fear, and understanding that you have to be perfect the rest of the way. You know, this can't be, aw shucks. Well, Framber just had a good day against us. No. You have to take it to him. You have to take it to him early. You have to be aggressive. We were talking about, the JP Crawford at bat mid-game where he gets a fastball right down the middle of the plate that he takes for a strike, and then he swings through the same fastball to end the at bat. It's like, in those situations, this is not just indicative to JP; it's the entire lineup. If Framber is going to give you something hittable, you have to be aggressive. And that's that. To me, that's what I want to see tomorrow is aggressive at bats, put the ball in play. And I hate to sound cliche, but good things will happen if you take advantage of a pitcher that's willing to give you something out of the plate.
I mean, to jump on that, I'm pretty sure every time we've had success against Framber, we've jumped on him early. We've put up runs in the first 3 innings. I mean, that's just the kind of pitcher he is. If you get him early, that's great because once he settles in, he's good. Like, he's not going to be hittable. We're not going to be able to hit him. So if we don't strike early, I think it's going to be a long game. And I just don't want to have to put our bullpen in another position to carry us to the point where we need to get late inning runs. I mean, I don't want to play in a late inning ball game, a 1-run game to a team that has better experience in that kind of thing, especially in playoff crunch time. I mean, every game matters. Truthfully, I'm not even thinking about the division, but if we do not sweep the Astros, I could care less if we sweep the A's. I think it's win now. I think this is the best chance we have because I'm pretty sure the last series for the Tigers is the Orioles, and that's the one they could lose in. So we need to take the wins now when it matters. So
couldn't agree more, and
Absolutely.
especially with the other wild card teams that tend to have a lighter schedule. And speak of, I wanted to go over those teams. So tomorrow, Detroit's going to be hosting against Tampa Bay and Chicago. So I think out of those teams, it seems that Detroit, if on paper it goes as it is, Detroit might actually be out of reach because Tampa Bay is pretty much done for the season. I mean, Chicago, it gets to the point their Twitters are making jokes about themselves. So I think that's pretty much out of reach.
Well, gentlemen, I hope you guys have a good night. I gotta take off. Ian, get on me at Twitter in my DMs.
Okay.
And yep. Rooftop, thanks again. This was fun.
This was fun.
Guys in the chat, Jared, you're the man. Flick, you're always good in my book. You guys have a great night.
Have a good night, Steve.
You have a good night, Steve.
All right, so
were you talking about the Royals? So is the Orioles are the ones then that?
No, the Tigers have the easier schedule. They have
the Royals are the ones with the Orioles. I was trying to remember. One of them has to play the Orioles.
Yeah, let's check on that because I want to make sure that we have all of the correct information. And let's take a look. So yeah, I think Detroit Tigers might actually. I think they have it sealed unless they pull a Seattle Mariner and just choke the last 6.
I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to choke it, but I'm not going to count the White Sox out. They have nothing to lose, and they have nothing to gain. So, I mean, if they play a good game and Detroit just has a bad day, I mean, I could see them losing 1 of 3 in that series against the White Sox. But
I wouldn't count on it.
I don't
but
know. I mean,
Minnesota, Minnesota might be a little bit more favorable, but they are playing Miami, so that's not going to be anything good either. And they are playing Baltimore at home.
Okay, so Baltimore, I think, could sweep them.
You think so?
I think Baltimore's the best chance.
Yeah, Baltimore, yeah. And then Kansas City also, I think, has a pretty favorable schedule themselves, and I can double check on that myself as well. Let's take a look at Kansas City, shall we? So Kansas City is going to be. They are at Washington and at Atlanta. Not that I want to depend. Not that I. It won't be easy for them. That's per se because when you're on the road, it's when it's a little bit tougher. But I think the most advantageous is probably going to be Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at both of the team. I mean, I'd love it if both those teams could just get swept in the final three by the Braves and then by the Orioles. My question is though, we're talking about the last spot or the last two spots for the wild card.
We're talking about. Well, let's take a look at the wild card before we even get further into it.
Yeah, because I haven't looked at it since earlier today, and I didn't crunch the numbers on it.
Right now, Houston has a 4-game lead, so theoretically, I mean, hypothetically, if the Mariners sweep out and the Astros have has a meltdown out, then the Mariners have the division. But let's be a little bit realistic. Now, it could be possible because Cleveland is the last, but don't forget Cleveland, and maybe they'll be incentivized to play for a top seed. So maybe, but I think you're still more likely to get struck by lightning than watching Houston lose 6 in a freaking row. So,
no, obviously, yes.
Reality check. But for the wild card, here's where it is. Baltimore has a 4-game lead on the wild card. They are on top of it right now. Kansas City is at 82-74. Detroit 82-74, and Minnesota at 81-75. Mariners at 81-76. So
we're talking about the last two spots are still up for grabs. So
the last two spots are very much. They could get into one of those, yes.
You know, I'd love to see Houston melt out because
it's just not likely, though.
No, I don't know.
We would love it. It'd be funny.
At this point, I'm forgetting all the other teams. We need to win out. We cannot take a loss. It has to be a sweep out. And I don't think we would be in this position if we had won against Texas yesterday.
And if Julio knew what he was doing, if he was just paying attention and had a better sense of judgment.
I mean, we don't want to get into that. You know my feelings after that. I still disagree. I don't think he should be on the major league roster, and I know a lot of people would think that's crazy, but I have seen him do some of the worst base running I've ever seen this year, and it's just not a rookie mistake. We're talking about someone that is paid a lot of money, and he makes these decisions. Yeah, I get the game baseball is fast, but if we're being real, if this team had a higher win, if this was a different team, a team that was amazing, a team that was held high, like say the Yankees back when they were winning, he would be either on the bench or sent to AAA to figure his stuff out, because that kind of a mistake cannot happen on a major league roster.
No,
but again, I have seen what he's done since. I do agree. Yeah, he's playing great. He's trying to make up for it. But again, it's another game, just like last night. Both are games. If we had those two right now, this playoff picture looks completely different in the final run.
It's crazy to think that. And going back to Framber Valdez and his split, for the 2024 season of how he's been doing against the Mariners, all right, let's go into career of how Framber Valdez has been doing.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, which I'm not going to quote exact stats, I think we only beat him when we jump on him early. But I distinctively remember a game where we, I think, put 8 up on him, and we ended up losing that game. We gave up the game. It was like 10-8 or something. Don't quote me on it, but I remember we had a game like that with him, and it was just frustrating because I know he doesn't give up runs early.
His career against the Mariners is 5-3 with a 3.47 ERA. And then let's go into how he did in 2023, because that's a little bit more recent.
Yeah.
2023, how did he do against the Mariners? He was 0-1 with a 6.60 ERA, so the Mariners did beat up on him pretty well. He gave up
hurt? Pretty much
he was pretty much injured, so maybe that's not a fair comparison. But now let's look at 2024 and how he did against the Mariners this season.
Yeah.
The Mariners, he does let's see. He's 0-2 with a 5.29 ERA against the Mariners. So there is a chance, but it's not going to be easy because you don't know which Framber Valdez you're going to get.
You also don't know what you're going to get out of who, Brian Woos tomorrow?
No, it's going to be Logan Gilbert, and you don't know what you're going to get out of him either.
No. Well, my issue is you don't know what you're going to get from the Mariners offense. Are we going to show up?
No,
or
you don't.
Fall apart. And that's what scares me. But if we're being in real honesty, and a lot of Mariners fans don't have to agree with this, you don't even have to. I think we could sweep the Astros, and I'm more scared we're going to go in and play home against Oakland and choke this thing away because we just have that tendency to play the A's, and for some
Down
reason,
to the competition.
we can't play them. Well, I mean, regardless of the years when they were good, we would play down to the A's. Like the A's have had our number. Fun thing that I'll bring up later when I get home from Detroit, because I've been in Detroit the past couple of weeks. I have some Tacoma Tigers baseball cards. I have a McGuire, I have a Stan Javier, and I have a bunch of other guys on the Tacoma Tigers, which is funny that you brought that up because, yes, the A's used to have their AAA team here, which a lot of people don't know about.
I didn't know that until today.
Really? You didn't know the Tacoma Tigers existed?
Yeah, I didn't know that we had Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco in our backyards.
Yeah, we had them, Stan Javier, Ricky Henderson at a rehab game there, and I believe it was all in 88, and Ricky Henderson's was one game in 89. But yes, they have all played in Cheney. Pretty fun fact.
Yeah.
Well, and if you look before that, there was the Tacoma Giants. There was actually a list of teams that had a AAA team there, but it only lasted for a couple years because, again, baseball in the Pacific Northwest really wasn't a for sure thing until the Mariners came back. Because, I mean, I guess we had Stick Stadium in Seattle, and they used to have some games there back in the day, but nothing really. And then Cheney. So
Reflect the Sun says, remember when we beat the A's 3 times in a row to draft Ackley instead of getting Strasburg? Good times.
you mean
very
we
good
could have
times.
Mike Trout instead of Dustin Ackley? Yes, I do remember that wonderful
Thank
venue.
you.
That's just
Although,
not-
ironically, he wasn't a highly touted prospect either, so who would have known
What's
back then
insane
anyway? But it's
is
still
how-
funny.
how great Ackley's college stats were. I do really, I used to crap on him, but I do see why they thought if he played like he did in college, he would have been amazing.
He would have, but well, also don't forget anyone who went to the Mariners in like 2010s, your career was pretty much there to die, unless your name was Kyle Seager. He got lucky out of the whole
I wouldn't
thing.
even say his career was amazing. He had a good career for a Mariners player, but if we were to put him on, say, a championship caliber team, did he really have more than one good season? Not really.
Yeah,
His
but then
defense,
those other teams would have built up his bat anyway.
That's true. I'll give you that because our teams literally were like, here, you have Ichiro for 1 year. Good luck. Hope it pays off for you.
Yeah, he had to come out on his own pretty much. But I think I am running out of thoughts on this game, but great win by the Mariners, great performance by Bryce Miller, especially how he got out of that critical inning. I think it was like the 6th or 7th inning, which he did very, very well. And it led to a Mariners victory. And Ian, do you have any final thoughts before we take off?
Just hopefully tomorrow we can keep this up for the next couple of days. But I mean, the biggest thing tomorrow is you'll see it. I mean, the fans, if you're watching, the first 3 innings, if we jump on Frambar, get a run, hold the lead, we should be able to win the game. If we don't get in on him and we're playing a 1-1 game and it comes to the late innings, I'm not confident this team will get the run across and we'll be able to stop the bullpen from letting them just give up a ton of runs. And that's just where I am at.
And speak of Framber Valdez, now I want to see what those games were before we go, because now I'm really curious about how those games went against the Astros. It was the first game. It was in May. What was that game? It was a Blanco game. That's where they lost that game. And then they won 5-0 the next day. Framber Valdez, the Mariners feasted on him. That was even like Luis Urias even feasted on him. So there is that. And then there was another, I think there was that other like 4-game set against Houston where the Mariners won. No, it was not July. it was around June when they played at home, and they did take 3 of 4 from that. It was the first game, 3. It was Framber Valdez, and Mariners put up 3 runs, so they feasted on him early. So you are correct. So when the
Jump
Mariners
early.
do, the guy jump early on Framber Valdez. So hopefully that'll be the case. And then July the 21st, how did they do against? That was against Blanco. And how about they do previously against Valdez? Framber Valdez, the Mariners actually they scored 2 runs on Valdez when they lost the game, but that's when they scored when it was, and they actually had a 2-1 lead. So again, like Mariners, I guess do have the ability to put up runs against Framber Valdez. So this would be another opportunistic game for the Mariners to win. I would talk about something about the Yusei Kikuchi game, but one game at a time, as we must say. So hopefully Mariners can take care of business for tomorrow. And I will actually be back tomorrow. I'm planning to be back. It's going to be with the Jay Trident podcast. Still trying to round up any other troops that want to be on the show. So I'll keep you updated on that. But that's going to do it. And Ian, thank you very much for joining that post-game show. And Steve, shout out to you for being on the show. And everyone else, Jared, Reflect the Sun, Christian had a little spot in there, Flick of the Switch, and everyone else I have not mentioned. I thank all of you for being part of the show, because without all of you guys, this YouTube channel does not happen. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your night, and go Mariners. Painfully saying.